and it's called the Wazimakram 502.
The 502?
Because he's taken 502 international one-day wickets. And it was beautifully presented. I opened the box, and I started to get concerned because the scent is presented inside a white cricket ball, the 502.
Really?
So you pop it open, and I thought I'll get a couple of sprays of this. So I put it on.
Actually, I'm just catching a waffle. I didn't notice it. It's very strong.
I put it on, and I gave E a bit of a kiss and a cuddle on the way out, and she said 10 metres from me, and then I jumped in the car, and I nearly overpowered myself in the drive up here. So I've done a bit of research because I want to know what you boys think. I'm going to move around, and you can have a nice whiff to me.
No, thank you.
It is called the 502, Nathan, and apparently it is created to strike down the stumps in a single delivery with a pace that defends right up till victory, ruling over all fields, infused in the creation of Wasim Akram's 502.
With a bit of a reverse swing right at the end.
So you decided after opening it, and it came out of a cricket ball, you thought that would be okay to wear.
I get concerned with someone who's rolling with a new fragrance. I just don't know what's going on there.
Well, it's the two phones and it's the two phone scenario.
Second program, you reckon? Different aftershave. What's a year crew?
It's the two phones, and he's a new aftershave now.
Yeah, I think it's not bad. What do you think, Damo? You're quite close to me.
The display looks good. It looks really good.
So it's up there with Warnie's got. What's Warnie's one?
Shane Warne,
probably 23.
Shane Warne, 23. So if you're in your shop, and there's a red ball version for the female as well, and it's called, I think it's $4.97 after the number of test wickets he's taken. So he's got the whole field covered.
Well, I think given Chief's Instagram fame now, might be time for Chief to release a
I wouldn't have thought so.
What would it be, musty or woody or what
Maybe
would it be?
Maybe a little nasi goreng sort of scent you could get going with the Chief.
I wouldn't be going there, Howie, the way you smell at the moment.
No, I think it's good.
Or probably reeks the right way.
I think it's good. It was Kramer released the beach one, didn't he?
Yep,
back in,
Ocean with Calvin Klein.
You could release
smell of the ocean.
Oda to the bedroom just of your sort of 11 a.m. getting out of the bed.
Look at Howie doing comedy and laughing at his own gags.
Oh, that was pretty good, Chief.
How are you laughing at your own gags, man?
What would Damo go with then? What would Damo bring to the table?
Well, you were asking the question. What would I go with, Howie?
It'd be salty.
Something boring?
I don't know, yeah. Real sort of straight down. It wouldn't offend anyone, that's for sure.
I know it'd be called Black Soul by Damo. Very dark.
That is good.
Not bad, Das. Not bad.
Now, we touched on last week that Nath, because he feels that our betting people that come on and that he hears, he works in this space, that present in the media, he doesn't think they're doing that a good a job.
No. You blokes take the mickey out of them every week.
Well,
you do.
Well, yeah.
Who are we talking about?
You do, Howie, anyway.
When
we talking about Tim and his mate?
Yes. So Nathan was talking about opening an academy, Chief, where he takes these people. What was the cost?
It was $5,000 a quarter.
Right. And what do they get for that?
There's only 6 people. There's only 6 spots available.
Right.
Did they get a seminar?
So it's like a masterclass for young, up-and-coming sports betting.
And who do they pay that to?
It's me, Chief.
The Shakers.
Nathan Brown Productions.
He teaches them, Chief, how to present on air.
Nathan Productions.
Yeah. That'd be a structured course, wouldn't it?
Well, we've got a little bit of audio from the course in a moment, but he hit early troubles because the Nathan Brown Academy, he was calling it the NBA, and he got a call.
Got a copyright issue.
But
we got some audio, haven't we?
No, we have some audio because it's all about wanting them to be accurate,
right,
Damo. So I just want to bring a couple of bits of audio to the table. So accuracy is the call. This is what you get for your $5,000.
Got to do your research.
You get taught how to present.
You got to get it right.
You get taught how to call the football like Nathan did on the wireless next to me last Sunday.
Thought he might have been tunnelled there, Myercroft. Myer check.
Who's Myercroft?
He's the bloke in Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes' brother. His brother.
It is.
But you can get the odd thing like that wrong. But obviously, getting the odds and presenting him is the key to your job, Nath.
It's exactly right, Howard.
And so accuracy is the key.
And you've got some audio. Sometimes.
Hang on, you don't need to say anything. So if you pay your $5,000 per quarter, this is what you get taught at the NBA, aka the Nathan Brown Academy.
What else have you got today, Brownie?
Flemington, race number, as I bring it up, race 3. Just let me check that. Best of the day comes up in race 1, number 3, Pride of Jenny in Flemington.
Scratch,
although scratch, so it's not going to be running today.
The best of the day you do is a scratching.
You know what I did? You know, I went
that's enough of
straight
that.
to
There's
There's
Dave.
a lesson in there. There's lesson number one.
What's
when
the
you
lesson?
make a mistake, you've got to think on your feet and make a funny out of it. You can't take yourself too seriously, Howard, in this game.
Make it funny out of it.
Had that horse been scratched in the paper the day before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Scratched on the Thursday for a Saturday meeting.
It was.
So how many people have taken up these
Well, this is
spots?
a good question.
There's 4 so far, Chief.
So there's only
So
2 spots available.
2 spots. It only opened last week, and they put their submissions
4
in.
people.
I've
Tim,
got
is
14.
Is Tim one of them?
It's Jared, Chief.
What did Tim, whatever his name is?
You can't help
You
it.
can't help him.
So you've got 4 enrolled.
Invite only.
When does the course start?
It starts on September 1st, Howard.
Who have you got?
What?
Who have you got? Who are the 4?
I can't tell you that yet. I'll let you know the names when everybody's
So, Nate,
off
you're a
there.
numbers man. If you spend $5,000 a month, you want a return on being part of Nathan
5,000 a quarter.
5,000 a quarter, sorry. Nathan Brown Academy. So if you get through the
The
academy
NBA.
and you get a gig as a sports broadcaster.
Well, there's an understudy spot underneath me at the moment at
Really?
Sportsbet.
It's like the
there's-
Celebrity
is
Apprentice
there-
where you get a
there's-
job at
Is
the
there
Trump.
like a succession plan?
There's been a few coming and going, and I think that we had a guy called Michael Wall. I don't know whether you've met Michael Wall.
I've
Mick
met
Wall.
Michael Wall.
I met you. I
Very funny
introduced you to
man.
him. He was very nice to him, which
He was a great host at the races one day.
which
Brendan.
is very strange for you to be nice to somebody. But he's left. He's gone to the tab, so the
Right.
opposition. So there's a spot opening up in the race.
So you're saying you're going that well, you're putting a boy on, are you? And you're running a system to get one through to fill that role.
I'm pretty sure that's what I'm saying. Yes, Duke. There's been a lot of people interview for jobs at Sportsbet over the years.
Right.
And I think Kane Corns came in and did one. There
Did
was
he?
a few other people come in. Yeah,
Well, it didn't get a gig.
It didn't get the gig.
Would he have got a gig if he'd spent the 3 months at the NBA?
I think he would have. Yeah, probably.
Where do you do it?
How would that have?
Sorry, Chief.
Where do you do it?
Sorry.
Where do you do the course?
I've got an office out in Williamstown.
An office?
Yeah,
Where's that office? Is it in your home?
I just said in Williamstown.
Yeah, you live in Williamstown.
Yes, but we have a factory out in Williamstown, Chief.
The Nathan Brown factory.
He's
So
got
it's
a
a little,
studio.
a little
It's all-
concrete shed somewhere.
He's got a
isn't it?
studio.
It's also part of the candle business, and I just let out
So-
room.
So you're basically making 30 net out of the...
A quarter.
Yes,
A quarter. Yep.
because there's no overhead.
Sounds good to me.
So 2 spots available.
2 spots available.
How do people apply?
How do people apply? Nathan.brown at sportsbet.com.au.
Nathan, sorry.
Can I ask a question, Howie?
You go.
Because I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
We make up a lot of crap here.
We do.
Is this legitimate as an
Yes.
enterprise, or are we
Legitimate.
taking the piss?
No, legitimate.
When you're the best in the business, what you do, Chief, you've got to offer a service so people can get to that level.
No, you're taking the piss.
It's
The Nathan Brown Academy.
No way
The
have 4
NBA.
people coughed up.
So
lives.
2 spots still available, and you're a numbers man. If they successfully pass the course and kick on to your sort of area, what type of remuneration would they expect in the industry?
Well, they wouldn't start at what I'm on, Howard. They'd start at probably...
What are you on, Nate?
I can't tell you that, Duke. It's private and confidential. I'm happy to speak about everybody else's, but I'm not going to talk about that. But it's the same thing, Chief.
Entry
If
level.
Das had a team that he put together. He could do something around posture and being like a pencil neck.
In the spirit of the Shakers, where you
Shouldn't do the funny stuff, Chief. He shouldn't do the funnies.
Brownie, in the spirit of the Shakers, where you give back to the
There's
community.
the website. So we're just having a look at the Nathan Brown Academy website.
Yeah,
this is actually real.
It's all set up and ready,
It's
to
ready
go.
to go, the
It's
academy.
there on Facebook, the NBA, the Nathan Brown Academy. You
That's
didn't
it.
tell us.
Would
what-
you consider giving
Couple
up
of issues
one
with the
of
NBA
those
at the moment.
spots? Would you consider giving one of those spots to someone without them having to pay for
Oh, pro bono.
it? Like a little apprentice you can take under your wing, and you give.
Well, they'd have to
for
be
nothing.
outstanding at what they do, Damo. I'd
they?
have to see...
What are you looking for?
Hey,
What are you looking for?
some pizzazz. Someone who's very sharp, Howard.
Yep.
Somebody who's got some charisma.
Right.
Like a Tommy Brown type.
Somebody like me.
Somebody like
looking
you.
for me.
And entry level, what are they going to get paid first out?
Entry level, I reckon once they do the course, they get the job, and it depends if they're the main brand ambassador or they're the second and third rung down. But if they start at the third rung down, they'd probably be on about 150 a year.
And is there a trailer back to you every time they get a paycheck? Just a little.
Absolutely.
Has this got a little bit of a Peter Foster feel about it?
The cop man, Peter
Yeah.
Foster, yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I just think he's fleecing people here.
Yep.
No doubt he is. He's doing it in plain
You get a good
sight.
service, though, Chief. I'm very hands-on.
So the Nathan Brown Academy, what was the email again that you gave your email away on air? That was bold. That was a bold move, Nate. You want to back over it or not?
No, no.
Okay. Listen to the podcast if you want to check out the email. That's the Nathan Brown Academy. We need to talk about this game, Chief, between...
I can't now. I'm sending my 5,000 to fleece.com and hoping I get a return for it.
Would you rather be back at Fox talking to Gaz and Rui like you were last week? You didn't seem to be having that much fun, Chief. You'd laugh your whole...
Speaking of not getting much airtime, he gets sidelined a bit, Chief, when you put him on fire.
Oh, was Gary the alpha male last week, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, did Gary push Chief around?
He puts Chief in the corner a bit, Gary, which I think's been an issue in the past.
Nobody puts baby in the corner. You know that.
You need to run your clock across that, Damo. You've been doing a bit of that lately.
Well, have a look at that one. It's one to watch, Damo.
We had to do it for you last week too, Howie, because you're on with Eddie Maguire.
I was.
And I didn't hear you.
He wasn't on with Eddie Maguire.
Please. Eddie is the most generous broadcaster I've ever worked with, and he was absolutely fantastic.
Why can't you look any of us in the eye, mate?
I'm looking at you right in the eye, and I'm looking at you in the eye.
I thought Das hardly got a word in with Jason Bennett.
Mate, I spent 11 years and didn't get a word in, so I know how it works. So if Howie got some airtime out of it.
Did you get much feedback from the Seven Network about Damo's
there was a bit of feedback coming my way. Suggesting that I have fallen from whatever level I was at, which wasn't that impressive to start with, Damo.
I reckon you're going right, Duke. I reckon you're going well.
Damo, because you need to depart soon, I need a headline from you, please.
No, I'm out of them tonight, Howie.
You've run out?
I've run out. I got lost in that conversation with Brownie. And I've just got nothing to offer after all that. I'm like Chief.
One job to do, Damo.
One job, Damo.
One job.
Just
bring some news and
I'm out.
have a headline.
I'm out.
The toss is taking place in the middle. Bob Jane T-Marts. Tommy Brown will be down there shortly. Bob Jane T-Marts get world-class deals on world-class brands. Rory Sloan wins the toss. He's kicking to the left of your radio dial or the Fletcher end, as it's named when Essendon are playing. Buy 3, get 1 free in instant cashbacks. bobjane.com.au. Chief, a couple of thoughts on tonight's game before we get this one rolling?
Well, it's a game that I expect Essendon to win. But Adelaide have been extremely competitive in most games this season. Even though we kind of thought they were probably going to be right down the bottom, I think they've surprised a little. Essendon had claims on participating in the finals, haven't quite got there. And in actual fact, the last few games between these two teams have been very close. So let's hope we get another close one, Brandon. That's ideally what we all come to the footy for, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Adelaide lost 9 of their last 11 games, Chief, but I think their scoreline is better than that. I think they've been competitive in a lot of those games. I think they got blown away against the Giants. Outside that, I think they've been very competitive. Now, the Bombers have lost 3 of their last 5, I think, as well. They had a good patch before that. But what the Bombers did poorly last week, and they had a lot of inside 50s, both against Melbourne and Geelong, who, let's be honest, are the 2 best defences in the competition, I think. They bombed the ball long. They got in the habit of getting under pressure, bombing the ball long. So they need to use their pace, use their foot skills, change angles, and I think they can cut the Crows up if they do that tonight.
Nate Brown, that's the Chief. Jason Dunstall back there, the Triple MC Bus. Super special comments. Some fresh faces tonight for the Adelaide Crows. Looking forward to seeing Lukey Pedler in his second game. He was the captain of Prince Alfred College, famous school in South Australia, in his second game. And it's the new Adelaide Crows. Can the Bombers get over the top? Draper, beautifully done down to Merritt. Merritt to Dev Smith. To centre forward, just outside 50, open goal square. Carl Langford back with a flight off his hands. And there's a minor score. Fast start. The Bombers, 1 behind. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Hello, Chewy. How are you, Big Daddy?
Yeah, good evening, Howie. Jake Stringer, game number 150, has been the number 1 rated player in the comp over the past month.
We'd like to Jake Stringer tonight. So the Crows off half back through Laird with a high searching ball. Hind will track it back towards the boundary, running beside him.
Good to see Das getting a sponsor credit out in the first 10 seconds to keep Howie happy.
Sammy Berry, all good down here in the front row, Nate. You worry about what's happening back there. No scorers yet. In fact, 1 behind for the Bombers. The Crows yet to get rolling.
Late change, if he didn't catch it. Himmelberg out and young Will Hamill in for the Adelaide Crows was a late change. So we're on the outer wing, city side, Marvel Stadium. Free kicks going the way of the Bombers. Rory Sloan put his hand up on the wing and he was convinced it was his, but Darcy Parish is going to get it at half back. Having an outstanding year, Darcy Parish.
It's lined up on Rory Laird. Now, both of these guys have had enormous amounts of the football this year, so that's going to be a great battle tonight.
Nick Hind goes sideways. Jade Laverty, the reigning best and fairest winner, is lining up for it.
Play on.
Instead, it was Jordan Ridley, ball in hand, who goes long down the line. Big 2 metre Peter down there, competing Dooday at ground level. Nick Cox, one of the fancies for the Rising Star this year. It's going to be Adelaide Crows free kick. Tom Doedee has got it. He's on the city side wing here at Marvel Stadium.
When he has an impact on games, Tom Doedee, Adelaide play a lot better. If he can structure them up behind the footy, they look really good.
Comes back and across to Butts, who's had a fine start to his career at fullback. Gee, the Seed has got the yellow long sleeves on, Nate. That's an outrageous long sleeve jumper.
But a man is in career best form as well.
He's going very well to Laird. That's an extraordinary jumper. Bright yellow sleeves. Now Showman driving ball forward. That's a good mark. Yes, he's taken it up forward. The man with all the blonde hair. And he'll go back and line up and have a shot, and that's Billy Frampton.
It's amazing what a bit of quick ball movement does for the forwards. You get the defenders second-guessing, looking at the footy, trying to find their opponent. On that occasion, I think it was Laverty who was picking up Frampton, just couldn't track him. Frampton worked him under, gets an opportunity to kick the first goal. Needs to get Adelaide in the game early, needs to get his own confidence up.
2-7 from set shots this year for big bustling Billy. The shocker blonde hair keeps it low, steers it and misses it. And he did steer it through from behind, one apiece on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, of course, as Dar said, they're proudly local and they're proudly independent.
It was a big Billy Frampton, Nate Brown, who was in a pre-season punch-on from memory.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
No surprise to see him miss either. Frank's last
Luke
for accuracy.
Brown, was it? Up against Luke Brown in the punch-on?
I can't remember exactly, but just sprang to mind. Why was that miss, Chief, going to happen?
No, they're 18th for accuracy in the competition from set shots, so or scoring shots. So it hasn't been a great deal of fun in front of goal for the Crows.
Kyle Langford now sends it down the line. Harry Jones worked underneath it, and the mark taken by Butts. So we speak about the fresh faces for the Adelaide Crows. They're trying to rebuild this list. Get some fresh young talent in. Doedee, as Brownie said, made a nice return from a knee reconstruction. They transfer it all the way out to Chase Jones. And here is the skipper. Rory Sloane's got it at half back for the Adelaide Crows.
Bob Jane, Tommy Brown, you down there this evening, Tommy? Good evening.
Good evening, Howie. I've just arrived here down to the boundary line. Perfect conditions with the roof open. It's a little bit crisp. Andrew Dillon watching on tonight is the acting footy boss of the AFL, with Steve Hocking having left during the week. So just getting his head around not the legal issues tonight, but the footy issues.
You need elite foot skills to be doing what Adelaide are doing at the moment. They've gone from one side to the other with probably 8 short 15-metre to 20-metre passes. If they can get through, they'll be great, but it only takes one poor kick to turn it over.
But importantly, they're trying to get the corridor going.
They go to the corridor this time. For the first time, it gets turned over, coming hard back the other way. It was Alec Waterman. He's not going anywhere in his defensive 50. The umpire will come in to separate, and that's Ray.
They average 18 for goal scoring, Chief, you said. They also average 17 for kicking efficiency.
Draper, only as far as Seedsman. Now coming back the other way, Parrish. Away he goes on his journey tonight. As we heard from the coach, he's won every medal available so far this season. Now Red Man, as Nate calls him, he goes back, and it's Marty Gleeson.
Hung in the air a little bit, that one, but it got to Langford. Now Laverty out wide to the impressive young Nick Cox. Decided to step around Jake Kelly. Langford's run hard to get it back, and then the sweeping handball wanted Waterman.
It was a push after he handballed a juke downfield.
Ray Chamberlain all over that. Umpires mic'd up exclusively with Triple M footy.
I reckon the free kick actually hurt Essendon there, pulled them up when they had the extra.
Look of Alec Waterman. He's made an impact. Draper intelligently slapped it down. Didn't go the mark. Little handball over the top from Parrish. Got back to McDonald Tipperwoody to Redmond. He had his flying shot and he's missed. So it's the Bombers 2 behind. The Adelaide Crows 1 behind on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
The Mac family's arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Get it as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. So the Crows, short, through Laird and Butts. Deep in the city pocket. Assesses his options. He's forced to kick to a contest on the outer wing. There's Frampton making an impact on the game early. Had an early shot. Marks there on half back. Goes into Laird. Here's this short ball game again. Now Smith, good user of the football. Drops it forward. Berry is out-muscled in that particular contest. It goes towards the boundary line, and Gleeson and Cox see it across there. With the Crows in attack, 1 behind. The Bombers are 2 behind on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Towards the centre, gents.
McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocky footy, Marvel Stadium, Friday night. And the Bombers home ground here at Marvel Stadium. Big Draper. Love the look of this young man as a ruckman. He's just very new in his career, but sort of play he can build a bit of a side around. The Crows hack a kick forward. James Stewart was in the direction of Berry, but Marty Gleeson scrubbing a kick along the ground. That's not where a 200-centimetre wingman wants it, Big Nick Cox. And you can hear the umpires just working out whether that was going to be holding the ball. Not the case, so it'll be thrown up right on the forward 50 arc for the Adelaide Crows.
Game here to really light up so far. Darcy Parish, Red Zeds.
Darcy Parish, Red Z, Howie, disposal number 3, averaging 32 this year.
Red Z lending loans for the self-employed. He won the medal at the country game last week. Chewy won the Dreamtime and the
Anzac Day, correct.
Oof. Love a premiership at some stage to go with that. Nice mark from Langford, city side wing, contested operation in a pack of about 4. Big strong boy. There's Kyle. Called to go now. Little low ball towards the flank. Marking front, marking strongly was Nick Murray in game number 9, the man from Wangaratta.
To the seed. Brownie said he's wearing a striking bright yellow long sleever. Frampton's worked hard, but Laverde cleaned it up, and just that style that seems to evolve, Chief, in this middle part of the year where the risk-averse teams at the moment, they don't want to really take the game on. There's a lot of sort of sideways kicking at the moment, Chief.
Yeah, Adelaide have certainly been doing that, moving it side to side, but they look dangerous when they find that 45-degree kick into the middle, into the corridor.
Big Draper, little fumble below his knees, picked up by the skipper Roy Sloan. Redmond started well. He's trying to draw a 50 there by collecting young Luke Pedler, who was trying to get around the mark. Kick from Merritt was good. Now it opens up. Big chance coming through for Tom Cutler, and they're just inaccurate at the moment, the Bombers. They've had 3 gettable shots that have all missed, and they remain on 3 behind. Adelaide Crows are 1 behind Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Triple M Seabus Supers tonight, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. You've got Nathan Brown, Jason Dunstall. That is elite on a Friday night. Season calling for it on the near side. They'll chop it off and go a little bit shorter than that. It's in the hands of Jake Kelly, son of the Collingwood Premiership player Craig. Back and across. Duday. Crows really just shifting the ball from side to side, Nate.
Yeah, and the Bombers are defending this really well, so they haven't been able to get through apart from one time where Frampton took a mark. So most of the time it's been in the Crows' back half of the ground. So the Bombers, that's a win for them, because if you turn it over in your back half, it's coming back pretty quick.
Defending space at the moment, the Bombers. Out of side, Cutler. Goes back towards Merritt. Boundary line again. This one yet to really fire up, Chewy, on the Red Zeds.
Adelaide 18th, Howie, for uncontested marks. They average 15 per quarter. They've already racked up for Triple M Red Z 24.
Good one, Chewy.
We've only played 10 minutes.
It's a Chew man there. 20 years on the M's for the Chew. It's just a year of celebration for the Chew. Never been a better form. No, it's a testimonial year. I think there's some cash coming his way, Chew, for their services rendered. Waterman sliding in on forward 50. Crows defending hard. Siegeman, little fumble now. He's chased by Dev Smith. Did pretty well to see. Going to work it. The little 1-2. Got it back from Rory Laird. And now the Crows cut back through the middle of the ground. And this is the impressive second gamer, Luke Pedler. He's a natural left footer. Crafted the kick. Big Billy Frampton's come out full chest and taken the mark.
Started well.
Goes inside 50. Good looking ball. Gets the Crows out the back. Murphy snapping ball around the corner. Bounces a little bit skinny. So a second behind for the Crows. The Bombers have got 3 of them. That's all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Really low percentage play from Murphy. Running away onto the boundary, had to snap it back, and he was never going to get enough hook. So what he needed to do under pressure was turn back the other way to see if he had teammates inside forward 50 that he could square it up for, but he went the low percentage play.
Redmond was kicking it out in the Archie Perkins direction. Now, chance down the line. The Bombers are going to have to reset. Harry Jones couldn't trap it. Right in front of the players, interchange race here on the Medallion Club wing side. Two-man, you're a pretty good judge of a crowd. What are we looking at so far tonight? What do you think?
I reckon we've got about 20,000 Das.
What's it cost to come to the footy, Chewy?
I haven't paid for a ticket since 1994, Howie, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right, Chewy. It's the sort of elite area in which you operate. Well, the rest of us pay to go to the football as it goes across the half-back line. And again, across the boundary. How many times has it gone out of bounds, Chew?
Yeah, Triple M Red Z, Howie. We have had, this will be number 6 actually, number 6 for Red Z.
What's the game average, Chew?
Yeah, game average, Howie, is 34 divided by 4, 9 per quarter, roughly.
9 per quarter, okay. So we're 2/3 of that, 1/3 of the way through the quarter. So what I'm trying to say to you is the ball's been out of bounds a lot. You're not missing anything because it's just bumbling around on the Adelaide half-forward line at the moment. Parrish gets out a slick handball. And there it is again, across the line, Nate.
8.5, mate.
What's that?
Just rounding up, Brownie, but you're right, 8.5.
He's a figures man, our man, Nate Brown.
He sure is. It's a very yellow jumper, this away jumper for the Adelaide Crows.
Well, your man Seedsman looks like he's leading the Tour de France.
You know what, though? There's no clash. It looks good. You can pick it easily.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the idea of a clash jumper.
Same with the umpires in the light blue.
Yep, little Ray's grabbed it now in the light blue. He's just barking instructions as he does. Thrown up forward 50, the impressive Riley Thilthorpe. And Nick Hines been impressive too. He's had a great value to the Bombers. He kicked it to Archie Perkins.
Recruited the Nick Hine duck, Gus.
Yeah, they replaced Sard with Hine and just called me the duck.
Yep.
Interesting.
He's on.
Here's Harry Jones down the line over his head. Crows working back. Will Hamill, late inclusion for Himmelberg. The late exclusion. He's drawn the free kick, Will Hamill. Just his 21st game of AFL football. Young man who was picked 30 in the 2018 draft. He's got it at half-back.
He was the late change for 34, Elliot Himmelberg. The Burger couldn't get up tonight, unfortunately. Ball on the outer side in the hands of the Crows. They go all the way back to Duday, always a rock back there. Nice little side step. Now hacks a kick forward towards the wing. Berry arrives at speed. And there's Ned McHenry, the pride of Barwon Heads, trying to get his hand on the footy. Comes in again. Now it spills to a contest. Berry again, Frampton. Had as much as the footy as anyone. Murphy got a high tackle. Called to go now. The driving ball forward. He sees something he likes. But coming back, getting in front of Chase Jones, was the Essendon defenders and Laverde.
Goes sideways. Short ones on to Alec Waterman. Something amusing you back there, Nate. You got.
Was the umpire saying, "Where's the footy, big fella"?
It was. I'm pretty sure it was the umpire. They're mic'd up exclusively for Triple M.
Who was he saying that to?
I don't know.
Was it Ray? Sounds a bit like a Ray sort of comment. Laverde down the line. Harry Jones just got underneath the footy a few times. The young forward, impressive young forward, fisted away as Jake Stringer makes his way onto the ground.
Game plan played predominantly between each other's 50s at the moment. Nobody can get a real good look inside forward 50. The Crows have had a couple of moments where they look likely, but at the moment the game's very stifled.
Thrown in right in front of Tommy Brown down there for Bob Jane. T-Marts. This is Pedlar. That's a strong tackle. Brilliantly executed Guelph. You can hear what the Bomber fans are staggered. It wasn't rewarded for holding the ball. The Crows take it away. Laverde has had a fair bit of it, two-man.
There's task for disposals and a couple of marks.
Frampton just frustrated. He got out-bodied and then he slapped the ball out of the hands of his opponent, Laverde.
This is strange. Look at the angle they've come in on that 50 into the middle of the ground. It happened on the outer flank. And
you go towards the centre of the goal.
Is that the way it works, Chief?
Yeah.
How long's that been going on for?
I'm not sure.
Seabus Super Special comments. Howard, did you know that?
I must admit, Luke, no, I didn't.
Stand.
But I reckon it's probably been going on a while.
Like Chris Scott's address before the game.
Sometimes you've got to ask the obvious question, Nate.
Cutler with a driving ball forward to a big contest. O'Brien brings the ball to ground. And again, Ray gets himself involved. Bob Jane T-Marts. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free instant cashbacks. BobJane.com.au today on the boundary. Channel 7's chief football reporter, Tommy Brown, from what you can gather. Any official word yet, Tommy, or not?
No official word yet. I'll leave any announcements to the official employer there, Howie. It's above my pay grade to do that type
Are you
of things.
confident?
Moderately confident.
Okay. Parrish, 30 from home. Slick hand pass. Goes to the exciting man in the number 23, Harrison Jones. He somehow keeps the ball in. Gee, we need a bit of a spark here. So Hooker goes to reverse inside Torp, not looking at the goals, and kicks it behind. 4 behinds to 2, the way of the Bombers.
Almost 6.5 minutes gone in this first term. We haven't had a goal in this game. Friday night footy, Marvel Stadium for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. When rocking footy, she's a little pedestrian at the moment. Jake Kelly's got it at half back. Riley Philthorpe down the line. He's just pointing in front of him saying, put it there. I'll get rid of Ridley and I'll mark it for you. And that's where the kick went. Jordan Ridley was able to defend it pretty nicely. Sloan back to Laird. And that's Luke Pedlow, who's gone through the corridor on his non-preferred. He's coughed it up. So the Bombers, big chance now. They go in the direction of Stringer from Kyle Langford. Will Hamill's got to do the work. Jake just steamrolled him. Bowled him out the way, but couldn't keep the Sharon in. So it'll be thrown in at half forward for the Bombers. They led 4 behinds to the Adelaide Crows, 2 behinds on the Triple M Jellicoe scoreboard.
I know he turned it over, Pedler, but that's the kick they've got to try and find, the Adelaide Crows. He was probably forced into it a little bit with the hand pass, but on his opposite foot, if he hits O'Brien in the middle, they will probably score from there.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocking football. Now it's hurried out of defence by Jones. Close to the boundary line. What's the umpire say? Yep. Insufficient intent, as we've been taught to say, Chief.
Yep.
So the Bombers will bring it in through Hine. Centre wing, City side, 4 behinds to 2 with only 7 minutes to go in the first term. That 2-point lead is the way of the Bombers. Hine, shallow entry inside 50, massive pack.
Push in the back, free kick Adelaide.
Going the way of the Crows. Big O'Brien.
Just watching Peter right there, Nate and Chief. Like, he just put 2 hands, could not have shoved Riley O'Brien anyhow. Like, that is just...
He's got to be better than that.
No craft.
Cannot be anything apart from a free kick on that occasion, and it just releases the pressure valve for the Crows. Push down the line, Rory Sloan, and he tries to handle it to Laird but can't keep it in. So, two-man, we've got a 2-point ball game in favour of the Bombers. No one's kicked a goal in this first quarter.
Yeah, spot on, Daz. Just with Darcy Parish, last 10 matches, he's averaging 36 disposals, 9 clearances. Currently, number 1 ranked player. 6 disposals, 3 clearances, 3 tackles.
All over at the Cheerman, Ben Rutten watching on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Keep your air clean at home with the Dyson Air Purification Range. Now at Harvey Norman. They go off the ground. The Crows lands in the hands of Jimmy Rowe. Feisty little customer, this one. Just a little slider to the outer side to Rory Sloan.
Outside 5.
Rory's got it. Hasn't got his big mate Tex playing today after that big fall last week. Hopefully he's out there sooner rather than later, the big Texan. Driving ball towards the pocket. Philthorpe comes from behind.
Play on.
Dishes off a quick hand pass towards McHenry, always battling on the bottom of the pack, that man. Back out towards McHenry. Now Berry, his hand pass is cut off. Merritt, free kick. Down the way of the Bombers.
Mentioned before, Howie, how this game's been played between the arcs at the moment in the middle of the ground. Normally, on average, it's around 26, 27 inside 50s per quarter for both sides. So far, only 11 with a few minutes to go in this first quarter, so the ball has lived in the middle of the ground.
That's total, is it, Nate, for the quarter?
Total.
Right.
True, man. We've got the ball in centre wing here with Marty Gleeson. When was the last time we didn't get a goal kicked in the first quarter? We've got 5.5 minutes remaining, and we haven't got one yet. Waterman trying to keep it in a half forward. Snelling was pretty well tackled by Hamill. Back to Waterman. Powerful young player, Nick Cox. High dumping kick down the line, and Peter Wright's been infringed over the shoulder.
Got to be quick, Chew.
Just any time you like, Chew. Triple M Red Z lending stats.
I've got an excuse, but I'll let you know off air for Red Z. They're not getting the information very quickly.
I want to hear about the Labour pages, Chew.
Spot on. Dennis Pagan used to say that.
Here is big Peter Wright. So we're behind big 2 metre Peter. Chance to kick the first goal of the first term here at Marvel Stadium. A little free kick to you, Nate. Was there much in it?
Wasn't much in it, Duke. Very lucky to get this one.
Normally strikes the ball pretty well, big Peter, for a big unit. Pretty good looking attempt, but he steered it to the near side. So 5 behinds Essendon, 2 behinds Adelaide Crows. 4:41 remaining in the first term on the Triple M Jellicoe score. But how are we going there, Chew?
Come back to you very shortly, Dales.
Currently, it just looks like hard work for both sides at the moment. There's 0 run in this game, apart from the first bounce when Zach Merritt burst out of the middle, got the handball to I think it was Devon Smith who had a flying shot at goal. There has been 0 run in this game.
Gee, man, that's not your typical program. You've got a virus or something. What's happening?
Very labour-intensive program I've got to work with just for this round. Basically, my key program is in quarantine at the moment, just like COVID. So hopefully next week I'll have it.
What have you been down?
I've got a bit of an IT issue, which I'm not overly happy about, but that's life.
Put on an apprentice in his 20th year, true.
Yeah.
Young Ethan, and maybe send him a virus.
Right.
Bit of sabotage, potentially.
Hey,
possibly.
Fair enough. What happened to you?
Look, I don't want to bore our listeners, Howie, but
Doesn't
You're
normally
boring
stop
me
you,
at
Chew.
the moment.
I thought so.
The Bombers run through the middle of the ground. Through Merritt. Gleeson for the opening goal of the match from 50. Won't get the distance. Pack of players. Tip and Woody arrives on the scene. Can he spark it up? Little dash and move on the outer side. Now Waterman. Sloan gets his man. Still in play. Hook round the corner. Coming back. Duday gets away from him. Hooksy arrives on the scene. Boundary line.
Under 4 minutes remaining, Chew. Still no goal in the first quarter here.
Did you pick up a virus, Chew?
No, it wasn't virus related actually, which is a positive. We don't want that happening to this particular program.
We're searching websites that it shouldn't have been searching.
Sounds like it.
Potentially. Boundary throw in attack, still looking for the first goal. Brodie Smith was that incorrect disposal. Ray Chamberlain all over it. Says no problems there. Play on Cutler with an awkward half volley. It bounced back in his lap. Zach Merritt, something good normally happens when he's got ball in hand. Goes to the goal square, big hooksy at the back. Peter Wright, again they can't score a major. Boundary throwing.
Poor old Two-Man is now having to go manually through every club to see when the last time was they didn't kick a goal, Chew.
Yeah, very labour intensive for Red Z, Howie.
I reckon
Exactly
with 3.5 minutes to go, someone's going to snaffle a goal and it's going to make it redundant, Chew.
Hopefully.
Relax on that one. The Crows through Laird. Now Seedsman leading the tour in that yellow jumper. Steps and twists to the outer side. Big fish from Hine. You're a late night man. Chief, are you a Tour de France style watcher?
Used to watch a hell of a lot of it. Not of late. But more Wimbledon at the moment.
Okay. The Barty Party.
Yep.
Who's she playing, Chief?
I don't know. I
Right.
see Pliskova and Sabalenka, was it the other one?
I believe so, yes.
I didn't see who won that semi.
Okay.
Geez, you used to get out in the bike a fair bit, Chief, back in the day. Still riding?
Pliskova won. Oh, there we go. So it's Pliskova against Barty. She'll beat Pliskova.
Okay.
Nick Hines going to send the Bombers back deep into attack.
Here
Here's
we
the first
go.
goal coming up. Big Hooksy. He can't miss from there. Cal Hooker. No one happier with that than the Chew man. Had no idea what was going on, Chew. 1-5-11 the Bombers. 2 behind the Adelaide Crows on the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard.
Got it, Chew, haven't you?
Better late than never. Yes, Hawthorn West Coast, round 8 this year. Both teams were held goalless in the first quarter, Darts. Just for reference.
For Red Z, actually.
Well, the Bombers probably playing the better football at the moment. I came to this ground excited what was going to be in store, a high scoring. Both teams don't defend that well, but they do score, so I thought it'd be a high scoring end to win, but it's been stuck in the middle of the ground. The Bombers have had the most of the inside 50s. It's 13-6 at the moment, and it was just a weight of numbers eventually. They have not spotted up any targets yet, the Bombers. Everything, and they haven't learnt from the last 2 weeks, everything has been bombed in long. Now, we've got the tools forwards. They've got Hooker, they've got Jones, they've got 2-metre Peter, but they've still got to be able to, A, put it to the side of a player, B, lower their eyes at times, because going long, bombing long at all in 2021 is not going to get you a score every time.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Roxford ball. The Bombers, can they go 2 in a row? McKay, big ball out of the centre. The big boys are down there as well. Big fish from the Essendon defenders. Hine, risky ball towards Rowe. Loves a goal, this man. Frampton comes onto the scene, had the opening shot, couldn't nail it. Now Parrish, Chew, Red's edge, good hands. Real good hands to Cutler. He puts the foot down. He's an athlete. This man takes 2 bounces. 3 bounces for Cutler. Now drives it inside. 50 towards Tip and Woody. Oh, massive clash. Massive clash. Falls to the Bombers. Tip and Woody's still down. And Duday was hit really hard in that one. Bombers still in attack. Players slow to get up. Perkins tries to strip the footy away. The Crows should clear through. Pedley's run down from behind. Free kick Bombers. They'll have a shot for goal, but talk about the clash, boys.
I think it's Duday on the ground, went back with the flight. Now, Tip and Woody held his ground.
Bombers have played on long range, home! Bombers have got 2 in no time, and it was off the boot of Jay Stringer. And the Bombers have got their second. 2-5-17 to the Crows, 2 behind. Triple M IJ look a scoreboard, but sorry, what happened up there?
So the ball was coming through the middle of the ground. Tip and Woody held his ground in the goal square, and the ball went long. He led late, and Tippermuti, who's a big boy, was going flat out in an aerial contest, jumped into the footy to mark it. Tom Duday was coming back with no sense of awareness of where he was amazing courage by Duday, but opened himself up and copped the full brunt of Tippermuti going back the other way. Now, Duday was going just as hard back as what Tippermuti was going forward. And the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, that is as big a hit as you'll see in AFL football.
Chief, that's like a car crash, Chief. That is.
He got smashed. It was a great tackle from Zach Merritt, which dispossessed Pedler, created the turnover. Then he was able to give the quick hand pass off. This is great to see Duday up and about, and he's actually going to jog off. Now, I suspect he's going to need a little bit of concussion protocol around that, because when he went back, he got crunched, but he also got slung into the ground, almost like that whiplash back into the ground. So he looks like he's got the stuffing completely knocked out of him.
That's the Chief. We've got Nate Brown, the Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. C-Bus for all of us, Tommy Duday. That is as extraordinary courage as you'll see.
No, he's not in a good way, Darcy.
No, he looks ill, doesn't he, Tom Duday? It was as heavy a collision. And I don't want to go there too soon, but to me that is almost tipping over the edge of courage, where you just don't want to put yourself in that position, Chief. And the only thing that can happen is what happened to Tom Duday, and that's just getting steamrolled. It was extraordinary hit. Here comes Jakey Stringer, man looking for a new contract. He's had some powerful performances. Brilliant effort back there defensively for the Crows. Coming through was young Nick Murray, did really nicely. Phil Thorpe, little one out to Lockie Murphy, couldn't get hold of it. Now Nick Hines got a target on the wing, and they're away, the Bombers.
Bombers, bit of pep in their step now. 2 in the last 2 minutes. Hooker and Stringer. They lead at 17-2, minute and a half on the clock. Inside 50 ball again, the way of the Bombers. Big fist away comes from Nick Murray, the man Das just mentioned. The Bombers will come again. Tippermuti, dangerous whenever he's got the foot. He gives it to Stringer. Shrugs one tackle, shrugs a second. Centering ball. Now Ridley, good user. Spreads it to the near side. The Bombers are load again. Cutler's been good early, too.
Triple M Red Z, Tom Cutler, 7 disposals.
Former Brisbane line. Gee, looks fit too, Cutler. He's pointing. Babe Ruth style. He hasn't got the distance from there. So he just goes up and under towards the pocket. That sort of defensive entry. And in the end, Kelly can't take the mark. Bob Jane, Tommy Brown. Your man Duday, did he go straight to the rooms?
Yes, Duday went straight down to the rooms. He had a little cut under his left eye, but clearly the concern will be concussion, as Jace mentioned. He'll be going through those protocols as we speak, and I wouldn't expect that we see him again tonight.
I'd like to see a fine for that defensive forward kick.
Yeah.
Just a $10,000 reduction in your pay.
Well, you mentioned he was pointing how he was trying to tell the umpire that he was having a shot for goal so that he could get 30 seconds or
he's a big kick
longer.
too.
Yeah, he is, but he was ambitious.
See what Nick Hine gave him an almighty spray that didn't get in there quick enough.
You don't like the defensive entry to the pocket, Das?
You just think it's an extraordinary thing that's evolved in our game, that you would rather kick it in the hope that you get a boundary throw in so you don't get scored against. It's just...
It's everything we didn't learn growing up, isn't it?
Correct. You know, I know Steve Hocking departing tried to tweak the rules as much as he can to get those defensive tactics out of the game.
When in doubt, go to the top of the square.
Yeah, that was the old rule, wasn't it? Here's the Seed. What'd you say, Nathan? Career best form, the Seed?
He is.
Paul Seedsman.
Is he your man that's the fastest player in the comp, or is that a different bloke?
No, that's Orazio Fantasia.
Where's the Seed? What number?
He's not in the equation.
Nah. Okay.
15-point margin. Quarter-time siren about to sound. You got the Chief, you got Nate Brown, the C-Bus Super Special comments, Tommy Brown, Howie, the two-man. It's all happening. The Adelaide Crows have got possession. Riley O'Brien, but there's the quarter-time siren. And it is the Bombers 2-5-17. Kick the only 2 goals. The Adelaide Crows just the 2 behind. So 15-point lead in favour of the Bombers on the Triple M Yellica scoreboard. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Get it as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's.
Victoria. Everyone needs to check in, everywhere, every time.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
She's a beauty! On Melbourne's 105.1.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M's Rocket Footy.
Nick Revo with us. We have not had a chance to chat with you since we found out that you are doing Celebrity MasterChef.
Yep. Hey, the kitchen's dangerous. Burns and cuts everywhere.
Harder to cook or take Mark of the Year?
No. Footy feels easy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6.
Just mucking around, having a bit of fun.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Maccas, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Maccas glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
The Lowdown. Around town.
Victoria. No matter where we visit, now every one of us needs to check in. Everywhere, every time. It only takes a second to do and it helps stop the spread of coronavirus. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
The Lowdown. For over 36 years, the Growth Cbus My Super investment option has returned an average of 8.98% per annum for its members.
Hey Rob, is 8.98% good for super returns?
Well, put it this way, son. It's going to take me round Australia in retirement.
Cbus, for all of us. To consider if Cbus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for a PDS. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Everyone needs an injection of kindness. Kindness is simple and can change someone's day or life. Kindness is also contagious, so pass it on. If each one of us did just one act of kindness every day this kind July, that would be 775 million acts of kindness across Australia. The possibilities are endless, and together, what a great country we can be. Do something kind this kind July. Find out how you can get involved at staykind.org.
So, how's life as a master landscaper?
Oh, mate, I couldn't be happier. The only problem is I'm so busy that I'm struggling to find apprentices and other tradies with the skills I need just so we can keep up with all the work.
Oh, give it time, mate. Plenty of other people are realising that landscaping could be their new career too.
To explore career and education options in landscape design, construction and garden maintenance, no matter your age or experience, visit masterlandscaper.com.au. Landscaping Victoria Master Landscapers, the best from the ground up.
You know what I don't like about the tile importer, Chops?
Ruff, ruff?
It's the name. It makes you think they only import tiles, which is rubbish, because they sell all building supplies.
Ruff!
They have everything. Treated pine, decking, flooring, cement sheets, lining boards, and so much more.
Ruff!
I can't believe how cheap the tile importer is, Chops.
Ruff, ruff!
Hey, Chops, should we take Mrs. Woody to check out the new display centre?
Ruff, ruff!
17 Natalia Avenue, Oakley South. Tileimporter.com.au.
Victoria. Everyone needs to check in, everywhere, every time.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Triple M rocks footy.
She's a beauty! On Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Quarter time, Marvel Stadium, the Bombers 2-5-17, the Crows 2 behind. Hooker and Stringer with late goals for the Bombers, who led it by 15 points. Bob Jane T-Marts get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free and instant cashbacks. bobjane.com.au. Day, Tom Brown, by G. He got absolutely smashed. Is he all right?
Absolutely smashed. He hasn't emerged from the rooms as yet. No word yet officially from the Crows, but you'd expect after that heavy collision with Tip and Woody that he would be subbed out for the night, but I'll tell you as soon as he is. Das mentioned Jake Stringer and his contract situation. No progress on that during the week. Obviously, Parrish recommitted for 2 years, and the question now is just when they'll get the Stringer deal done, but they still seem like they're a long way apart. I think the message to Stringer, from Essendon's perspective, is very much they want to see consistent form, so hopefully some more goals for Jake tonight.
Thank you, Tommy, for Bob Jane T-Marts. Now, I mentioned briefly in the call and asked Chief and Nate, both very courageous players
yes,
in their own right, but there is a line to me. What Tom Duday did is as brave, and it should be, we celebrate it, but the only thing that could happen to him then was that he was going to get knocked out for mine. Do we need to teach players that actually, as brave as it is, it's just not smart to run back open like that into a pack without protection? Or am I on the wrong path?
No, I think we can actually encourage players. I mean, it's incredibly brave, as you say, but I think if you're running back with the flight like that, at some stage you should look at what's coming so you can judge where and when you're going to jump, how to shape your body to best absorb the impact, rather than just eyes on the ball all the way, being completely open and not knowing. I mean, you can have a quick look, know where the contact's going to come from, and better prepare yourself. It doesn't stop you being courageous or going back with the flight, but I think you're better equipped to avoid getting completely poleaxed.
Definitely stupid break, wasn't it? Going back like that. It reminded you of when Lee Colbert really hurt himself and had himself wide open in one of those contests. But it was brave, but you'd rather see Tom Doedee out there in the second term.
Yeah, we heard a bit of strange audio that we thought was the umpire. Let's just have a listen back again and analyse it, Dars.
Tommy, where's the footy, big fella?
There's definitely an umpire.
Yeah, that's...
Tommy, where's the fella? Where's the footy, big fella?
Yeah.
Umpires, always good to hear them mic'd up on Triple M. Just Bob James, still no sign of Doedee?
Still no sign of Doedee, Howie, so he'll be undergoing those protocol tests, which I think take around 20 minutes.
Ben Davis is their medical sub.
Bombers dominated the last 10 minutes of that quarter. They had 6 inside 50s to 1, 32 disposed to 14, kicked a couple of goals, and they looked much better side.
Nate Brown, Jason Dunstall, the Chief. That's your Triple M Cbus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. We're underway in the second term. 15-point lead to the Bombers here at Marvel Stadium. Free kick going the way of Zach Merritt. What's he had, Two-Man, please?
This will be disposal number 13.
Tommy Brown, I think some good news on the Harvey Norman replay screen. Tom Doedee back up and coming back onto the ground, I believe, or onto the stadium anyway. Thank you, Tommy.
His body language looked good, didn't it?
Yeah, he looked like he'd come a bit of colour back in his face. He just joined us on Triple M footy. Heavy collision. Doedee got smashed in the first quarter, going back with the fly to the footy. Short one's onto Marty Gleeson. Bombers have got this about 80 metres from home. Big Carl Hook out the deepest forward. He's trying to muscle his way into the front of the contest. McDonald, Tip and Woody down there and just ghosting it from the side. Sam Draper, the big ruckman, takes a nice mark.
He's raw jerk, but he's got some ability, hasn't he? He's an athlete. He does things a little differently. Kicks the ball out of the air. He's got funny approaches on some of the skills of the game, but there's no doubting his ability to run, jump, and that's a terrific mark.
Got a nice bit of natural aggression about him too, Chief.
A little bit of madness about him too.
Got the stare. Got a nice moustache and the
fair mullet too.
Extraordinary mullet rolling with. How does he kick him? We'll have a good look at this one. Big Sam Draper, if he can start taking pack marks and kick goals. He has bizarrely gone with like a chip sort of wedge kick.
It hasn't made it from 30.
What was that?
He half. Did you see the way it was spinning?
Yes, it wasn't.
Landed in the front bunk.
It spun sideways.
Amazing kick.
He should be taken off.
Get the ball.
So the Crows down towards Phil Thorpe, and Laverde halves that battle. What do you see, Chewy, on the Reds' edge in that first quarter?
Well, just Marty Gleeson. He had 6 touches at quarter time. He only played the one game last season. In fact, he's only played 23 out of a possible 77 games over the past 4 years.
Harvey Norman, replay screen. He was off celebrating, thinking he'd kicked it. Then when it fell short, he goes, "Oh, really?"
Big Drapesy was hand in the air stuff.
He looked surprised, didn't he?
He did. Keep your air clean at home with Dyson Air Purification right now at Harvey Norman. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. He was shocked, Chief, that hasn't gone through a post height.
Correct.
So Hines got it. He's been a good recruit, this man. Got some real toe. The former Saint.
Yep.
Splits it to the outer sides. The Bombers building through Ridley. Fine young player. To Redmond. Had him on the wireless recently. Very engaging customer was Redmond. Drives it to the outer flank towards Tip and Woody. He'll stay down. Gets over the back of everyone. Smith, the number 33, didn't really want to keep the ball back in because Tip and Woody was in the area. Boundary line, 17-2 the way of the Bombers. Early stages second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies. 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores. Lucky you're not a Sparky, Chief. The old 7:30am kickoff.
Not his hours, the Chief. Normally rises about midday.
Yeah, Howard rolling his own jokes again.
I've been working with Duck too long.
Rory Laird to the wing. Stewart and Frampton. Mason Redmond shins it out of bounds with some attention from Lockie Murphy on the outer wing. He hasn't hit any great heights this game, it's fair to say. I mean, a little stagnant. A couple of goals to the Bombers. 15 points is the margin. So Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Now it's thrown in on half forward. Keys trying to find a way through his lair, but Big Sam Draper athletic, and that's look at that. Oh, he's taking a bounce. Hit full speed, lightning quick, Big Draper. He knew he had to redeem himself.
Did you see the kick though, Duke?
There was another horrific shank, Chief, but we're focusing on the speed and the athleticism. Speaking of that, Nick Cox has got plenty of it. Dev Smith's been quiet. To the goal square, bouncing ball, Big Hooksy. He just got through a tackle, and then he shanked it and missed from a metre out. Extraordinary scenes. 2-6-18, the Bombers, 2 behinds the Crows. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Incredible athleticism. Harvey Norman replay screen from Big Sammy Drager. Had a bounce, showed great pace, and then dropped the ball sideways and kicked a tumbling torp.
Seedsman driving ball forward flank, fisted away, boundary line again.
So the Bombers had 10 of the last 11 inside 50s. On that occasion, they had a couple of opportunities to kick goals. Devon Smith had players out to give the handball to, chose to kick a snap across his body with the left foot, and then Cale Hooker got the ball, did a nice move, but had 2 players in a better position he could have handballed to, went the snap. Now, you don't mind anybody having a snap at goal as long as you kick the goal if you're going to do it.
Draper grabs out of the ruck, takes on a tackle. He's got his tail up, the Big Samuel. Bombers turn it over. Seedsman got one in the back. Gee, umpire said, let the boys go.
He said dived. He called it well, Razor.
Right. Is that how you saw it, Chiefy?
Yep.
He's paid this one downfield, though. He'll go the way of the Crows. Ends up in the hands of Rowe. He's got Frampton deep. That shock of blonde hair. Be nice to see him elevate onto some shoulders. Down in the Frampton direction. Gets front position. Thought he was going to take the mark in the end. Almost uncontested.
Yep.
Got away from him.
He's got to mark those, Howie. He has to mark that.
Spot on now, Snelling for the Bombers.
Hands it off to Nick Cox. Takes a bounce and then ran into a tackler immediately. Got the handball forward. The Bombers can link up on the outer wing side. If Cutler can pick it up off his toes, he can't. And he's ushered over the boundary throw in true centre wing, City side, Marvel Stadium.
Sam again.
Matty Nix looking on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. The Adelaide Crows coach. Only trail by 16 points, the Crows, but they are yet to kick a goal in this game. Nearly part of the second term. Keys got it out to Riley O'Brien. Now Jimmy Rowe had some real zing in the forward line. Little Jimmy Rowe. Tackled by Marty Gleeson. Out there was Frampton, and there's a number of players around it. Now Umpire says I'll throw it up at centre half forward in attack for the Crows.
Keys had a good season, Stu. How's he going, the number 2, Benny Keys?
Yeah, he's had 5 touches, averaging a PB 29 this year.
Glenn Red Dead lending stats. Kyle Langford with a wobbler on the outer side. Gets over the back of the pack. Coming out is Kelly. Playing game number 105 tonight is Jake. And his ball fortuitously finds a teammate in Smith. Half back. The little low sizzler is in the right area. Gets through the hand of Keys. Now Stringer arrives coming back the other way. Intelligent hand pass. Now Snelling. Perkins. This is good from the Bombers. Merritt inside 50. Little chipper. Got away from the man he was looking for. And that's Harrison Jones who applies a tackle. The rails separate him with the Bombers 48 from their attacking goal, leading 18-2. 14 to go, second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Umpire Ray Chamberlain throws it up. The Bombers in attack. Darcy Parish trying to find the footy. Chase Jones for the Crows. Nicely done, Sloan. Clever little boot the ball to Laird. Now the outside runner out there is Scholl. He had a short target, but Jordan Ridley was too tall, too athletic there for Lockie Murphy and smashed it over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Very keen on going short, Adelaide. If you had looked up, he had a one-on-one, Phil Thorpe going back into the forward line, one-on-one with Stewart. It took a 40 to 45 metre ball up to his side, but elected to go low, wide, and to a short 50-50 to a smaller player.
Stacey Parish had two-man.
Triple M Red Z, 10 touches.
He's got it to Merritt. Now Kyle Langford got a man through the middle. Cutler streaming onto it. He gets surrounded by Crows, but pulls the trigger to Harry Jones. He's got the big man Nick Cox in the pocket. He could have kicked it to him. Bomber fans almost asking him the question, why didn't you use your young teammate? He was out wide, so Jones instead decides he's going to go right up the middle. Big Cale Hooker, right. Free kick, arm chop. Peter Wright's got it. You see him elevate and extend like that. You see the signs of a good play. You just don't see enough of it, Nate Brown.
No, and he's a very good kick. Let's have a look at Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. I felt like it might have been a little bit soft. And, geez, if you got a free kick every time that happened, you'd kick 1,000 goals like the Chief. And you did it without those free kicks, Chief.
He did hit the arm, pulled it away because it was Nick Murray who couldn't get up to that height.
Had no games last year for the Gold Coast Suns. Peter Wright was named an emergency 11 times. He makes no mistake, directly in front. The Bombers are 3-6-24. Adelaide Crows just the 2 behinds on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Let's get to Tommy Brown. Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free. And instant cashbacks. So BobJane.com. Tommy.
Das Duday came back to the bench and sort of indicated he wanted to play, but then with better judgment, he was sent back downstairs. Now Ben Davis is warming up as their medical sub, so I'd expect Davis to be officially subbed in shortly and Duday done for the night. I was surprised he even came back to the bench.
McDonald and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Ream Hot Water, ask your plumber to install the ream. Steady, hot and strong. What do you got, Chewy?
Triple M Red Z, Zach Merritt is already up to 15 disposals. How he passed 2 games against the Crows, he's polled 6 Brownlow votes.
Who's leading your Brownlow tracker now, Noodles?
Leading the Brownlow tracker is Marcus Bontempelli on 23. Coming second is Ollie Wines on 22.
You think Ollie Wines can win it? No?
I definitely think Ollie Wines can win it. There's nobody taking votes off him at Port Adelaide.
Big barrel forward from O'Brien. Still looking for their first goal, the Crows. Redmond, good user. He hits Cox on the outer flank. Marks in front of Dave McKay. Bombers controlling this. They lead 24-2. About halfway through the second term. Called to go now is Coxie. No way was that 15. Umpire agrees. Hind, outside of the boot, is an aggressive, fantastic kick to Cutler, who, as I said, looks so fit. Plays on with a looping handball. Here come the Bombers again. Langford stops, props, waits, goes to the pocket. Setting himself well. Waterman plays on with some dash. Waterman from 30. Oh, hits the post. It would have been goal of the night for the Bombers. They are 3-7. And the Crows 2 behind. Triple M at Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Mentioned it would have been goal of the night, Howard, because it's the first time they have come through the middle of the ground on a 45-degree angle kick. Every other time it's been long down the line, trying to kick it to a long target. That time, turned around, took the kick on in the middle, and it just opened up the ground.
Yeah, that was Nick Hind. Brilliant kick off halfback.
Nice mark from Jordan Ridley. Kicked it into the forward pocket, not to the advantage of Hooker. Bombers trying to manufacture something from that play, but it wasn't a great kick inside the forward 50, it has to be said. So it'll be thrown up deep in attack for the Bombers. I can't help, Chief and Nate, but go to the start of the year and the new rule changes, players playing on. We had the quick movement and the coaches just adjusted and been able to get the defensive play up and running. Last that question in a moment. We get some time as Seedsman goes out. It's an important one-on-one. Jimmy Rowe, he's got Nick Hind to deal with. Hind kept his feet. Jimmy Rowe didn't. And now the Bombers go back through Hind's boot to Cutler to Merritt. Pulls the trigger. McDonald, Tipperwoody, Jake Kelly fought his way into the front. Now he's got to go back and pick it up. McDonald, Tipperwoody stripped it out of his hands. Nick Cox is in there. Seedsman as well. Still 30 metres out for the Bombers' goal. Will Hamill's been dacked. And the Crows through McKay. And now Luke Pedler, the second game, are out wide to Scholl. These are all new names, Howie, for the Adelaide Crows.
My word, they are. Now Frampton, middle of the ground, the number 22, progresses it by hand. Here come the Crows. Keys just massages a ball. Really well done by Wright, running back in defence. He got in the way of the Bowen Hedge flyer, McHenry, who was outsized. Ball goes to the outer side. Hind, he has got bright gold underneath his boots, Hind. Looks like he's walked through the mint and just got gold all over the back of the boots. It's across the line. Bob Jane, Tommy Brown.
It's an injury concern for Kyle Langford and the Bombers, who's just gone down to the rooms to get assessed with the doctor and the physio. So as soon as I know the cause of that, I'll update you.
I feel like he's had a fair bit of the footy too, man, Kyle Langford, tonight.
Triple M Red Z, he has 13 disposals, second most for the Bombers.
Still 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Was that, Nate?
Walked through the mint.
Yeah, I sort of got lost as I went on that one, Nate. They don't have much gold in the mint, do they?
Dev Smith.
I was waiting for you to pick that up.
So Nate to back over that one. Carl Hooker tried to keep it in. Sloan picked it up. Jake Kelly dropped it. Now Waterman, he's a goal kicker. He didn't connect with that at all well. And McKay was going back with the flight of the ball. Probably should have marked it off his hands. In fact, that was Scholl down there. Boundary throw-in.
Normally you run with a word, Howie, on a Friday night that you're going to roll out on Fox throughout the week. Is there a word tonight that you're going to give us?
Yeah, there is, but it hasn't had its opportunity to arise as yet, but it'll be coming, Nath. Don't worry. Always test it on the wireless before you go on the television. It's the theory. Waterman doing a nice job. Snelling with a high wobbler. And it sneaks through for a behind. So the Bombers are 26, the Crows are 2 behind. 9:46 to go, second term.
This is Brodie Smith, who's got it right back pocket for the Adelaide Crows. Short one on the keys.
Stand.
For Brad Crouch's old number. Started his career at the Brisbane Lions, did Keys, and finding a fair bit of the footy as he goes down the line to O'Brien. Parrish goes to work at ground level. Guelphy was well tackled by Seedsman and rewarded for it. The Adelaide Crows defender in Paul Seedsman.
Fitty for abuse.
Do not speak to me like that, Darcy.
There you go. That makes a scoring opportunity here for Paul Seedsman. We know he's a long kick too.
Chief, you might have picked up on this, but they bring the 50 metre in the middle of the ground these days, Chief.
Well, not in the middle of the ground, Duke. They take it from where the point of the free kick is, in line with the centre of the goal line.
Exactly as I said, Chief.
Seedsman. I'll just keep educating you about the game, mate. It's okay.
So important. A 50 metre penalty gives the Seed an opportunity to kick the Crows' first goal. A bit of abuse from Darcy Parish. Seedsman, that was unusual. The man on the mark.
He ran to the right of it, yeah, didn't he?
And there was 10 metres to the right of the mark, and there was no play on call. Yeah. Strange things happening tonight. 3 behinds for the Crows. 3-8-26 the Bombers on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Darcy Parish has started this game well. We're just thinking come Brownlow medal night, if he's had another 36-40, if he gets votes, knowing that the umpires have in their mind right now that he's been given away a 50 for abuse.
Ball goes to Hine.
Geez, you'd be stiff if you lost votes for one little spray, wouldn't you? But although some players just do it continuously.
Yep. Goes to the outer side, free kick.
I think you were a bit like that, weren't you, Brownie?
Thanks, Brodie.
A little bit abusive towards the umpires.
No, it's quite pleasant to them, Chief.
Goes to Cox. So Cox oscillates as to whether he should go down the line or in the middle. And in the end, he goes to the middle. That might have been it too, Nate. The ball doesn't go anywhere.
When you were the most influential player in the competition, how were you polling Brownlow-wise during that period?
I was polling okay, Chief.
Just okay.
7 or 8, I think, in those 10 games, Chief.
It's good numbers, Nate.
Nick Cox, half forward, gets it to Merritt. He goes on the right foot. Beautifully weighted kick for Will Snelling, who takes the mark. He's 40 metres out. He wanted to go short. McDonald Tipperwood's been called to play on. So now he's got to weave a bit of magic. Tipper. He goes back, and Archie Perkins has taken the mark. And about 45 metres out. Young gun for the Bombers.
Ooh, Jordan Butts may be in trouble here.
Time back on. Gale! Let's face it now.
Harvey Norman replay. Butts had blood just coming out below his ear, Dars.
He's also limping.
Jimmy, James!
So it'll be Archie Perkins as Butts makes his way from the ground. I think he's trying to pick him up. He is his chief, and how he pointed out, not feeling that good about himself. The number 9 pick from last year's draft, Archie Perkins, showing some fantastic signs. What's his goal kicking like? Bomber fans loved it off the boot. Archie Perkins loved it as well. That's his 3rd career goal. The Bombers out to a 29-point lead, 4-8-32 to 3 behinds. That's your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Looks like a very good young player and a strong player, really good overhead, Chief, and multiple position player, and they've got a few of them now, the Bombers, and they've got some players who are 6'2", 6'4", got a couple of 6'6", and they can all play on the wing, they can all play half-back, they can all play centre-half forward. So the youth department of the Bombers is very exciting. They're all over the Crows at the moment. The Crows look a little bit impotent forward. I know Tex Walker's not out there. He's been the main focal point so far this year. Thilthorpe hasn't really got near it. Frampton started okay, but he's a an almost play. Every time the ball goes near Frampton, you think he might get it, but then there's a reason why he doesn't get it, or he drops the mark. So he puts himself into contest but can't quite get it. So the Crows at the moment, aren't getting enough ball in the middle of the ground to hurt the Bombers, and when they do get it in their half of the ground, they haven't got the cattle to kick it to. So the Bombers should be a lot further up than what they are. There's 29 points.
Bob Jane TMS, Tommy Brown.
The walking wounded down here, Butts, as you guys mentioned, is nursing what looks like a cut on his head. He looks like in a little bit of distress. He's going down to the room. Peter Wright having some work done to his chin. A little scratch there that's being stitched up by the Bombers. Doctor are now taped over.
Yeah, they clashed together, those two, in a marking contest, Brownie, as a result. Oscillates, Nate. You think it's one worth rolling out the telly or not?
You probably need the good moment for it.
Okay.
I don't think the moment you used over the outer side was perfect for it when it was Nick Cox had the footy and you said he's oscillating.
Yeah, between going the centre or down the line, sort of swinging back and forth. Led. He was going to burst away, but good to see Langford back out there, and he'll get the free kick.
Good evasive work by Ray Chamberlain too.
Yep.
Nearly got cleaned up by Darcy Parish. Big sidestep.
There's a few Bombers players who are in career best form, and I love the change of position for a lot of them. Kyle Langford's one of them, career best form, playing in the midfield.
Des Smith, little chipping ball to the pocket, arriving on the scene, affecting the spoilers. Nick Murray, the man from Wangaratta. Harvey Norman replay. Duday is wandering around, clapping his hands, but surely his night is done, Chief.
Well, he hasn't taken off the boots, has he?
No,
which is quite bizarre.
Ben Davis is the sub.
I'm pretty sure he's on, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been activated.
Right, well, there's
so why wouldn't Duday have taken his boots off?
I think he's coming back on.
Well, it'd be unusual at this point in the game, Nate, to see the man that's been subbed out come back in. In fact, that'd be quite bizarre, Nate. As Perkins marks the ball off the ground inside 50, and he'll line up and have a shot, Archie, for two in a row.
He's one of those young players we've spoken about already. Langford averaging career-high 21 disposals, had 14 already in this first half, and a couple of other players who they've moved around this year, and I think it's worked for them. Stewart going back has worked for them. Laverde going back. Hind obviously coming into the football club. Parish into the middle of the ground. Stringer playing more time in the middle and Hooker forward. So there's at least 7 or 8 moves that have paid off for the Bombers.
2 goals, 9 coming into tonight, and only game 13. Archie leans back. That's 2 tonight for Archie. Whack! Bombers way out now, 5-8-38. The Crows 3 behind, trailing by 35 points. Triple M Beacon Trade score. Well, that is exciting for Essendon fans.
It is. They've got a number of youngsters. We've spoken about Cox. We've spoken about Jones. Perkins is another one. They've persisted with them all year. Probably, I think collectively, they've been a little bit flat over the last 4 to 6 weeks after starting the season really well. And we often talk about the toll that a season takes on young players. But they've persisted. They've let them ride that dip in form, and they all look to be coming out the other side.
Triple M Red Z over the past month. Bombers 17th for marks inside 50, only averaging 7 per game. They've already taken 5.5.
The Crows yet to kick a goal in this game. 2 men, 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
They held goalless in a half back in 2004, round 18 actually against North Melbourne, Das.
It's a fair while back, 2 man. Let's hope for their sake they can get one. Last 5 minutes, the strength of Stringer.
Did you see 2 metre Peter on the bench?
He's got a lot of tape on his belt.
He looks like the Easter Bunny with that tape around his head. All he's missing is a couple of fluffy ears sticking up. Fair dinkum.
Brodie Smith. Hat kick, but it landed in the lap of Rory Sloane. 4:48 remaining in the first half. Sloane, long ball. Billy Frampton, juggling attempt.
Almost.
Couldn't grab it. Now here comes the first goal opportunity. Snap round the corner. It was Schomburg. And he's bent it home. So there it is. The Adelaide Crows get there first. Harry Schomburg, the man. A young man in his 24th game. Just signed a 2-year extension at the start of the season. So the Adelaide Crows 1-3-9. Trail the Bombers 5-8-38. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. What are you seeing, Chief?
What do you see, Chief?
Well, it looked like we saw a blue in the crowd. All the young kids up there. I don't know if they were fighting over the ball or fighting over which team's going better than the other, but it looked like it was nearly on.
A couple of sort of young 12-year-olds going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, all little sort of midget Nathan Brown tops they were. I'll tell you what, it was a quality finish, though, from Schomburg. Really quality finish, one that they desperately needed. And the thing they've got going for them, as poorly as they've played, is they haven't been blown out of the water. You're within 5 goals. They can just jag one more before half-time. themselves a chance of turning things around in the second half.
Harry Schonberg out of Mintaro Manura, playing game number 24. 86 kilos he's listed at, Harry. 182 centimetres.
Where's Mintaro Manura, Howie?
That is just out in the back blocks of South Australia, does.
Okay.
McKay runs through the middle of the ground, straight through the man from Mintaro Manura. He drives it forward. The Bombers now arriving in a great hurry is Ben Davis. He is on, which as Nate pointed out means Duday can't come on.
He did really well, Ben Davis. He picked that up cleanly at pace and then just rode the tackle. Held it up really well because they were in trouble after that poor drop from Schonberg.
Good effort. Here's Scholl, well tackled by Stringer. And umpire said no prior opportunity again. So it's the Bombers 40 metres out from their attacking goal square. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Here's the dangerous McDonald tip, and Woody hands it off to Alec Waterman. He opens up the face. We're never going to miss that, Waterman. They get the quick reply, the Bombers. And they are well and truly in control of this game. 6-8-44, that's Essendon. 139, the Adelaide Crows on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Nate Brown.
Genuinely getting beaten up around the footy tonight, Adelaide. The Bombers probably should be at least another 2 or 3 goals up, but on that occasion, normally you have extra numbers on your defensive side of a stoppage if it's a boundary throw-in inside forward 50, Chief, but on that occasion the ball came down to the attacking side for the Bombers and you had Tip and Woody and also Waterman on the attacking side, and you only had one Adelaide player who I'm looking down now and I think it might have been Murray, but there was a wall of Essendon players coming at him. Murray couldn't do anything because he didn't have any support, and 2 Bombers players just rolled through, able to get the easy handball to the inside of Waterman and an easy goal in the end. Matthew Nix had looked down at that stoppage. I'd imagine they'd play that on a Monday and say, what happened here?
Mintaro Manura, if I've got the pronunciation right, Darcy, is north of Adelaide, sort of halfway to Port Pirie.
Oh, I know that part of the world well.
Yeah, do you?
I'm sure you do.
Used to live in Roxby Downs. Used to drive through Port Pirie, Nate.
There you go, Roxby Downs. What the Darcy found me doing there is
local pub.
They go inside 50. The Bombers, Smith paddles in front of himself. Is that where the uranium is?
That's where the uranium comes from.
Merritt gets one high. And the Bombers in attack. And they lead this one rather comfortably at the moment. 44-9, 3.5 to go before half-time, Chiefy.
A chance to score again here, the Bombers. Marley O'Brien, Peter Wright. That's my first look at him. He looks ridiculous with the Joel Selwood bandage around his head, but they've wrapped him up under the chin. That's never a good look, that. Someone needs to sort that out for the big man. Slapped in the direction of Jordan Ridley. Love the way he plays, Ridley at half-back. Very composed and poised. Snelling did nicely. Took possession, got rid of his man at the same time. Launches another inside 50, and there's the mark to Waterman.
Strong unit, isn't he, Waterman?
Powerful body. He's got a low centre of gravity. Sees Stringer one-on-one the goal square and nearly edged Jake Kelly underneath it, but off the fingernail of Jake Kelly and out of bounds. So Jake Kelly with just a little bit of verbal for Jake Stringer.
Well, Jake was appealing to the umpire for a free kick.
I'm not sure what for.
A bit of venom that Jake directed about his way.
The Easter Bunny.
That's Peter Wright.
That's not a good look for Peter Wright.
I'm not sure that's what I want delivering my Cadbury's on the Sunday morning. Scare the kids off. Seedsman across the line. And the Bombers pressing. What are you seeing, Chewy, with 2.5 to go before the major break?
You're just seeing if this is Adelaide's lowest half-time score against the Bombers. I'll come back to you shortly, Howie.
All right, Triple M Cbus Supers delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. You've got Nathan Brown, Jason Dunstall, that chick Gillespie, McGrath style opening combo on a Friday night. Langford has spent some time off the ground. He's been good though. Snelling to the athletic Cutler. Nice little step, swirling ball towards Dev Smith. He was hassled off the footy. Now Jones immediately tackled as he took possession. It was a good tackle too. Crows come from everywhere.
I don't think it's possible for Peter Wright to play well the way he looks at the moment. He'd be that self-conscious out there. He's just desperate for half-time. Get me off.
A good point.
Nice and Heppel looking on.
Is that Aaron Francis there with him?
Aaron Francis, player they'd love to get back when he's fit. Definitely in their best 18. Short one to Jimmy Rowe. His old man Stephen, former Adelaide Crow. Now Keys, we've got 2 minutes and 5 seconds until the halftime siren. 44-9, all the Bombers' way, and Keys is just A real clanger kick that was, straight to Kyle Langford. Jakey Stringer trying a few party tricks. Releases the handball to Zach Merritt, runs to 50, centering kick, Cutler. Jumped underneath it. Now into the hands of Parrish, back to Redmond. Able to sidestep a tackle, has to go back to Darcy Parrish, 60 out from the Bombers' goal. Bends it around the corner. Big Peter just cannot get the ball with a head that looks like that. Got to fix that up at half-time. Rory Laird's got it. The Crows are going to release it through Lockie Scholl.
Lockie Scholl with a very short ball, called to play on out aside. And that's a high wobbling mung by Lockie Murphy.
It's a bit like Chief when he had his helmet on.
Yep.
It wasn't the way Chief rolled. Felt self-conscious, Howie.
Yeah, but I wasn't wandering around and going.
The Chief's done an Easter Bunny impersonation.
I think 2 metre looks worse than what the Chief did.
That's a big call. That's a big call.
Kelly Marks. The Chief has just made the Easter Bunny noise. You don't get that on the other operators, I wouldn't have thought. Inside ball to Davis. He's on for Duday, who was absolutely smashed in the first term, but he's been up and about as Tommy, which is good news.
Stand!
And the Crows have got it in the back pocket. Something amusing, you know?
This Chief.
Just the Chieftain.
It's become a really stagnant game for Adelaide, hasn't it? They've lost that boldness looking for that kick through the middle of the ground. Very, very predictable with their ball movement, and it's only a matter of time before Essendon cut them off.
Well, this is why the inside 50s at the moment are 28-12, plus 16. Adelaide just refusing to move the ball forward. They're chipping the ball sideways, and they just do not move. The Bombers have just squeezed them up, and they'll get the rebound here and go back the other way.
Oh, she's a tough sell, this one at the moment. The Bombers dominating. Ridley Marks. Centre wing, City side, 44-9. They've got 12 seconds to conjure something, the Bombers. They're running out of time. They're dominating this game, though. There's a bit of a bounce through the middle. Zip, high in the speed drop he goes. Wobbles it forward. Oh, no, free kick. Downfield. It'll be a kick up the side. Dev Smith's in there.
Jeez, he sprinted over.
By gee, what did the footy did Devon? And he can go back from 50 after the side. Has he got the distance, Nate?
Well, he struggled to make the distance in the first seconds of the game from 50 metres, Howie. He's got a pretty good kick, but I would have been leaving that, having a look around, thinking Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuiti's probably in the top couple of set shots in the competition right now. I would leave it for him.
So Keys bashed into Hine as he got rid of the footy. Siren's gone. It's a 44-9 lead. Dev Smith, this man loves a major. He'll have to kick it from right on 50. Gives it everything he's got. It wobbles, it spirals. It's fisted and no score. So 44-9 the way of the Bombers. They are dominating the Crows at halftime. Tommy Brown next. He'll give you all the latest from the Hawks, from Collingwood, everything that's happening in the world of footy. Essendon 6-8-44. The Crows 1-3-9. The Bombers lead this at halftime by 35 points. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. You know the rest. Triple M rocks football.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
It's better than good.
Triple M rocks footy.
On Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M's the home of rock, sport and comedy. Now with Marty Sheargold for breakfast.
I'm joking, Melbourne. Relax.
Malloy driving you home from 4.
KFC introducing a bucket full of chicken that's not chicken.
JB and Billy, the rush hour at 6.
I love Billy.
Tell you what, Uno 1, me.
Uno 1.
And Triple M rocks Melbourne all day at work.
Favourite rock legend is Aerosmith.
Sure, we've got Labor. Green rocked on.
Welcome to paradise.
From Blackburn to Brunswick, Triple M rocks.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're bringing back the custard pie and introducing a new birthday McFlurry. Creamy custard pie pieces mixed in with caramel fudge and sprinkles, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am.
Victoria. Every one of us needs to check in. Everywhere we see a sign, every time. Checking in only takes a second to do. But every time we do, it means we can stop the spread of coronavirus and protect our businesses, our communities, and each other. So let's all check in. Everyone, everywhere, every time. For more information, visit coronavirus.vic.gov.au. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
Melbourne's Best Buys.
Tile importer Timber Merchant have all the supplies you need for your new build, reno or DIY project. Check out their updated display centre in Oakley South or search Tile Importer online.
Best Buys.
In winter, it can be tempting to stay in. But if there's one good reason to leave the house, it's to make a life-saving blood donation. Up to 1 in 3 blood donors cancel their donations at the last minute, leaving donor chairs empty. So if you're feeling healthy and well, now's the time to step up and save lives. Search Give Blood to book a donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood today. Give life. Give blood.
9 out of 10 tradies use Bailey ladders. We couldn't get a hold of the last guy for an interview. Apparently he's on work cover. Bailey's new range of ladders and platforms improves safety at height and efficiency on the worksite. Bailey, Australia's #1 ladder brand. The statistic at the start of this ad is completely made up. Might be true, might not be. We should have done more research, but we were kind of busy creating the new range of ladders and platforms. Because let's be honest, after 60 years, we're getting very good at it. But if you want a real stat, Bailey is Australia's #1 ladder brand. And that's a fact.
This is a big deal. Actually, it's a huge deal. Hang on, this is a massive winter deal. Switch to Energy Australia for a massive 33% off gas rates. That's right, save 33% off your total gas bill when you switch to Total Plan. Switch today. Offer ends 28 July. Vic residential eligible customers only. Conditions apply. Fact sheets available at energyaustralia.com.au/EFS. For clear advice on the right plan for you, contact us on 133 466.
Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au. It's better than good.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks Friday night football here from Marvel Stadium with the roof open. They're much the delight of Bombers supporters. The Bombers lead 6-8-44 over the Crows, who have been quiet 1-3-9. The lead, of course, 35 points. I'm joined by Jason Dunstall, Nathan Brown and Ash Chua to break down that first half and obviously discuss the latest news as well. Jace, I'll start with you. Just from a Bombers perspective and point of view, a lot to like there. The fans will be wrapped with that first half.
Well, I guess they'll be wrapped with the scoreline, Tommy, but it wasn't an exciting half of football. It wasn't a pretty half of football. They probably should have put this one well beyond doubt with the amount of play they had forward. So 6 goals, 8. It should be at least 8 goals, 6, if not sort of, 9-5, 10-4 would be a much better scoreline, rewarding the work that they've done. They've controlled it through the midfield. They've defended well behind the footy. And really, it's just a matter of just finishing off the work that they're doing going forward, and this one will be over.
Four-quarter effort's an overused word perhaps in football, but it's important. They were good in the first quarter last week, the Bombers against Geelong, and then trailed off.
Yep.
At least in the second quarter they kept going.
Well, they did, but it's a very different opposition, isn't it? They're not playing Geelong this week, so we don't expect Adelaide to be able to reassess and restructure up and bounce back the way the Cats did. But we need to see something from the Crows in the second half, because that first half was dismal.
Brownie, described as dismal there, the Crows in the first half. We've seen the best of the Crows this year. They've caused upsets in Adelaide, but, geez, they've been pretty ordinary tonight.
Yeah, they have been. They've been very ordinary. Their major ball winners haven't really come to play tonight. Sloan has had a little bit of it without being much. Benny Keys has been a bit of a bull most of the year, but hasn't really got his hands on it the way he normally does. And then their ruckman, I think O'Brien hasn't really had any influence at all. Thought Drape was beating him pretty convincingly. When you go forward, without Tex Walker there, who's been their main go-to player and the one that got them started earlier on in the season, Thilthorpe hasn't been involved in it tonight. First-year play, you can accept that. But then the other guy, Frampton, has almost taken a couple of marks, almost done a couple of nice things, and that seems to be the way he plays. So, and when you think about their major ball winners, Rory Laird has got a lot of the footy, but have you really noticed Rory Laird gets a lot of little easy ones, and then he does take the kickouts, which bumps his stats up. So, across the board, Adelaide have been pretty ordinary.
Areas of improvement for the second half, Branny?
Just everything, pretty much winning the footy at the contest, because they haven't been able to do that, and they haven't been able to get the ball inside their forward half of the ground. They've had 12 inside 50s in the first half to 28, so it is a massive discrepancy, and if that trend continues, I mean, if the Bombers kick straight, they could be looking at a 100-point loss here, which at this point, you don't want, because that can really hurt your season and you can drop off after that. They've been competitive. They've lost 9 of their last 11, but only one of those has been a bit of a blowout, and that was to the Giants. So if this becomes a blowout, does that set the scene for the rest of the year for a young side who I think have 12 players out there tonight with 23 or less games experience? So it might be a long 8 weeks or 7 weeks for Adelaide.
This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. X-Lock tools and accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. Ashur, Adelaide, just break down their game style. It's sort of characterised tonight by short kicks and uncontested marks, and critically it hasn't worked.
Yeah, spot on, Tom. So they're 18th in the comp for short kicks and uncontested marks. If we look at the uncontested marks, they average 63 for an entire game. They've already racked up 50 in a half. And if you look at their scoreline as well, they've posted their lowest half-time score against the Bombers with a scoreline of 1-3-9. But just with Essendon's forward half game, just some key numbers here. The disposals inside the attacking 50-9. They've laid 12 tackles inside their forward 50. Crows yet to lay 1 tackle. I know they've had a lot of entries, but the positive as well, they've taken 6 marks inside their forward 50, the Bombers, whereas over the past month they've only been averaging 7 per game.
Jake Stringer wants the big 4-year deal at up to $700,000 a year. The message back to Jake: produce goals consistently. How's he gone tonight?
Yeah, tonight, Tom, 8 disposals, a couple of centre clearances, and a major. The past month he's been averaging 26 touches and 2 goals per game.
He's just looked a little bit off tonight, Jake Stringer. Did he kick that goal, but hasn't had the same zip that he's had in recent weeks. So just having a down night, but still a possession, a goal and 8 possessions isn't the worst game.
The goal was a handball, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a gift, wasn't it?
It was.
And they were greasy, wet conditions last week, but Cale Hooker had a shocker last week that would have put him under selection pressure, but he's actually showed a bit tonight.
Yeah, kickless last week for only the second time in his career, Tom. But yeah, tonight he's had 6 possessions, all of those contested, and he's kicked 1 goal too as well for Red Z.
Just from an injury perspective, obviously Duday, the big one with that concussion, sickening concussion when he ran into Tip and Woody in the early in the second quarter, I think it was. Peter Wright got stitched up, Butts got stitched up as well. Just going around some other news today, guys, just sort of with my news radar on. The GWS and Swans are a big story. They're not going to be able to get back to Sydney next week with these 44 cases again today. The AFL and the Players Association look this week at bringing their families down, but they can't get out of the red zone. So the players are just going to have to stick it out for the moment. They're sort of looking at options to get the families down, but at the moment it's just a bit of a stalemate that no one can really fix, to be honest with you.
No, and it's a game this weekend that the Giants just have to win. So you go into a game where maybe a lot of these players I wouldn't have thought would even been to Ballarat in any point of their life. It is a cold, dingy place sometimes, Ballarat, and it's the club that comes down with their head screwed on the right, with their sleeves rolled up, expecting a really good game of football, wins this, and I expect that should be the Giants.
I went out to Hawthorn this morning and went to Alistair Clarkson's presser, Jason, for the second time this week, and he was absolutely steadfast and adamant and was just indignant. He was just so solid that he will see out this contract. Of course, we don't know at the moment, but he couldn't have been any more clear. John Ralph and I asked him, what happens if Graham Wright comes and asks you or makes you a Godfather offer from Collingwood? I think Carlton will come and make some type of indicative offer, but he seemed pretty confident. What do you make of his comments this week?
I would tend to back up exactly what he says, Tommy. When he says something like that,
he doesn't muck around.
He does, and he lives up to his word. He always has. He's always followed his contracts. He's always honoured them to the letter, and it looks like he set himself to do the same here, even despite the fact that circumstances have changed a little.
Guys, the Amy Clanger tonight. Amy, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. It was in the second quarter tonight. This was it.
Got a nice bit of natural aggression about him too, Chief.
A little bit of madness about him too.
Got the stare. Got a nice moustache and the
fair mullet too.
Extraordinary mullet rolling with. How does he kick him? We'll have a good look at this one. Big Sam Draper, if he can start taking pack marks and kick goals. He has bizarrely gone with like a chip sort of wedge kick.
It hasn't made it from 30.
What was that?
He half. Did you see the way it was spinning?
It wasn't.
Landed in the front
It
bunk.
spun sideways.
He should be taken off.
Get the ball.
That was the Amy Clanger-thon, of course, thanks to Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. The other news today, guys, Nick Dacos, who's obviously the much-touted father-son prospect for the Pies. Hugely exciting for Pies fans. Vic Metro paid Vic Country at Windy Hill. He had 41 touches and kicked a goal.
And from your spies, Tommy, in terms of his brother, now there's a lot of his brother's a wonderful player, but there's a lot of reports out there thinking that this is a genuine star in the making. Are your spies telling you that he could be better than the brother?
Yeah, that's the view. I think Nick Dacos was sort of being touted, but for the fact that it'll be father-son, that he would be number one pick. Having said that, Sam Darcy has emerged also as a potential number one pick in the view of a lot of trade sources. He was a little bit more quiet today, but...
Who would you take out of those two?
Probably Sam Darcy due to his size. He
Good
was
answer.
Fantastic. Next to Jamari Ugle-Hagan. That's hugely exciting for Dogs fans, Brownie. And just a quirky one tonight. Josh Kelly's contract, the most talked about deal in footy at the moment. An 8-year option negotiated by Paul Connors with over $1 million a year in Kelly's favour for him to stay at the Giants. He's sort of got to weigh all that up. What I discovered today, it was a 2-year contract lodged with the AFL and an 8-year offer. The offer component, the 8 years, was never lodged with the AFL, and a lot of rival clubs are trying to work out at the moment, what does all that mean? Does it mean that it's binding to the Giants? Does it mean it's binding to Kelly? And importantly, does it mean if you're North or Essendon, whether it's easy to try and get in for reduced money? It's got a lot of people scratching their heads.
So the reports of Josh Kelly being offered $1.1 million a year over 8 years, that's not fact, you're saying now?
No, the North offer, I think, is fairly factual. As to the length of that, that's up in the air. What I'm saying is this deal he's got with the Giants isn't technically an option. It's an offer that was never lodged with the AFL.
That is strange. He's a wonderful player, but I can't see... If I was in charge of a football club getting anywhere near 1.1 or even $1 million, I think Josh Kelly's a super fine player, but I wouldn't be paying him in any more than $700,000 a year, but you'd probably have to pay him a little bit more than that to get him out. But
that's what's interesting about the deal now. Is it binding on the Giants? Could they walk away from it? And it might be in their best interest too if they've got a salary cap issue. Anyway, that'll all be discussed, I'm sure, over the weekend. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football from Marvel Stadium. The Bombers 6-8-44 in front of the Crows 1-3-9. Don't go away. A big second half. The Crows still in this. All coming up here on Triple M Football.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M is your home of rock, sport and comedy. And tonight, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
After going MIA last week...
Why is the Chief not here?
Could be on a date.
Jason Dunstall's return to Triple M's Friday Huddle has everyone talking.
Tom Lynch is on the line. Tom, how are you going?
Yeah, very well. I'm pretty keen to hear about Chief.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tonight from 6 for the Bombers and Crows. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
G'day guys, Billy here. Can you believe Maccas have now been in Australia for 50 years? That's 50 years of post-match Maccas feeds. Where I grew up, in Jerilderie, we didn't have a Maccas. In fact, Jerilderie still doesn't have a Maccas. But I love playing other teams in the Murray League, like Deniliquin or Cobram, because those guys had a Maccas. 50 years of post-match Maccas. Now that's worth celebrating.
Have you got a dated and daggy old property that you want to transform without breaking the bank? Hi, I'm renovation expert Cherie Barber, and in my new podcast series, Transform Your Home, I'll share with you my interior design tips and tricks to take your home from drab to fab in next to no time. Search Transform Your Home podcast.
Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
Ah, ha, ha! Is that it? That's the new one.
That's it.
Tell you what, it is bad, but it's also pretty good too. Yeah. And there's only 3,000 of them. Oh, they'll be gone quick. Yep. Okay, where's the script? The Canadian Club Bad Sweater is back. So bad that it's good. Get your own CC and Dry Bad Sweater. Just purchase a specially marked 24-pack of Canadian Club and Dry for your participating retailer. T's and C's apply. Details at ccbadsweater.com.
Steel Solutions, Houston speaking.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, what's happened?
I'm doing a reno and my bricklayer needs some galvanised steel lintels in different lengths and sizes. Who would do that?
Relax, mate. We've got all the steel you'll need and we'll cut it to the lengths you want. You only pay for what you need and you can get it delivered or pick it up.
Houston, we don't have a problem anymore.
That's kind of why they call us Steel Solutions.
Steel Solutions. The steel you need when you need it. Sunshine, Bayswater and Springvale. steelsolutions.com.au.
Freddie Fittler here. When the sun comes up and that alarm goes off, it's time to get out of bed. For some people, mornings are the best part of the day. But for many others, it can be a real challenge. That's because, to wake up well, you need to know how to sleep well. ResMed has been helping Aussies make every morning a good morning for over 30 years. So you're going to wake in your best every day. So start learning with a free sleep assessment at resmed.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2021, Triple M rocks footy.
You don't get that on the other stations.
Temper mattresses. Feel comfort. Feel support. Feel Temper. Find AFL player stories at temper.com.au.
That is a ripper.
Hard Yakka is for a new breed of Aussie legends. Toughness is in their DNA. No shortcuts. Hard Yakka, a history of hard.
That makes it tough.
For Ream and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up. The footy's on Triple M.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
If you're an Essendon fan, you're loving what you're seeing at the moment because your side lead it. 15 points at quarter time, 35 at the half. 6-8-44 the Bombers. The Crows just one solitary major, 3-9. Essendon by 35 points. IGA Liquor, whoo, they got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IGA Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Let's have a chat about some of the games. Chiefy, Hawks in their home of Tasmania tomorrow. They take on Freo. A lot of talk about the Hawthorn coach. And Nat Fyfe plays his 200th game tomorrow, Chiefy. I was reading today that Nat Fyfe, if you take percentage of Brownlow votes versus games played, he is only one of two players to average above one vote per game across his career.
Does he really?
Quite extraordinary. 1.09, I think it was the highest in the history of football.
Who was the other one?
It could have been Hayden Bunton.
Hayden Bunton?
Could have been. But I could have got that wrong.
So he averages more than a vote a game.
1.09 votes per game.
In a team that has more often than not been in the bottom half of the table.
A phenomenon, the man, isn't he?
Wow.
So he takes on the Hawks.
Good stat, Howie.
Thank you. I might save that one for tomorrow as well. What do you reckon? The Hawks have a chance tomorrow, Nate?
Oh, big chance. Big chance, Nate.
Cannot, with any certainty, pick either of those sides.
Who are you talking about then, Howard? I just came in late.
Nat Fyfe.
Nat Fyfe. Averages, Howard?
1.09.
Votes per Brownlow votes per game he plays.
I've gone really confidently now. Now they're all your way looking at me, I'm just a little bit concerned. But Chief will, G-Man will ascertain that. But I think that's true for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. A bit of a wonky donkey bounce.
Come on, raise up.
We're just going game versus Brownlow vote average, Stu, and I believe Nat Fyfe is the highest in the history of football.
I'll go as far as to say that's the worst bounce of the year from Ray Chamberlain. Start the second half.
Front of the jumper.
Free kick going the way of the Bombers. It went about a metre high and it went 20 metres sideways, Ray.
You had a good laugh about it though, Duke.
He enjoyed it. Here's big Jake Stringer.
I reckon he meant it.
You reckon he did you? Stringer, powerful kick to Draper, who's got a habit of doing that. He likes to just try and direct it rather than attempt to mark. Nick Cox, youngster, laid a good tackle.
Yeah, he does do some weird things, Duke, and I would have thought when you're deep in the forward 50 and the ball's coming to you in the air, you try and mark it rather than volleyball it onto someone.
Probably makes sense. So Triple M Seabus super special comments. The Chief, you've got Nate Brown back there all over it, picked up by Darcy Parrish. High ball to the goal square. Harry Jones got good hands. When the chest mark, dropped it, picked up by Guelphy, tried something spectacular and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So it will be an Adelaide Crows free kick deep in defence. 35 points is the margin. We're just into the start of the second half here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water on Triple M.
So the Crows working on half back, not going anywhere there, and the umpire will come and separate them once again.
They will indeed, and the big boy Draper.
Block, free kick Essendon. No, you've got to move out of his road, mate.
So I reckon Sam Draper's milked that beautifully from my vision right here in front of Tommy Brown in the commentary box. He ran into Keys and then looked at Ray Chamberlain. I reckon he sucked the free kick out of Ray. Harry Jones from the side, beautiful mark. Did he give this young man a run? pretty hard player to stop.
He's a beautiful timer of his run too, Duke, and he realised at this point of his career he's not a stand and deliver type of guy. He can't just push somebody out of the way, but what he does do really well is if he gets a run and jump at it, his timing is impeccable at hitting the pack when he really takes an uncontested mark, which looks pretty impressive.
How he's been burying his head in the stats, how he's very nervous about his Nat 5 stat.
It's just starting to feel like a rout coming here, Duke.
It's got that feel about it, hasn't it? Jones directly in front. First goal, the second half coming up. Harrison Jones kicks it. And 7-8-50 to 139 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. 41-point lead. Howie.
Telling Porkies, Howie, were we?
Leading into the 2021 season.
Yes.
So at the start of the season, before he played a game this season, Fife has averaged 1.05 Brownlow votes per game.
Yep.
Only Fife and fellow West Australian Hayden Button, senior, 1.04, average more than one. The next current closest player is Paddy Dangerfield with 0.9. So at the start of the season, he averages 1.05 Brownlow votes a game. I got a little bit concerned the way we were looking at me, but he's a freak. Here's Nat Fife. 50 to 9 now, the way the Bombers. That's on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. That really is phenomenal, isn't it, Chief?
It's amazing ratio of performance, isn't it?
How many goals?
Votes per game.
How many goals did you average a game, Chief? Lots. 1,254 goals. How many games did he play, Chew? As Draper tries to spin the ball forward. Comes out the back door. Bombers still progressing. Under all sorts of pressure here now, the Crows. As Chief said, it could be a rout here. Cox, we'll get to that in a moment, Chew. Good work by Jones. Attacks the footy hard for the Crows. And now off half back.
Yeah, 269 games. He averaged 4.66 goals per game.
More than a goal a quarter.
Now the Adelaide Crows with the boot. Lockie Murphy got dumped as he kicked. Downfield free kick. The Crows desperate for their second goal. And Riley Thilthorpe, who been pretty quiet shoeman so far.
He certainly has. Only the one handball for the game, Das.
So we get a look at the young gun, Riley Thilthorpe. He was number 2 in the draft last year.
15.
And what can the big 200-centimetre forward do from 49 metres? Got under the kick slightly, and it just smacked into the right-hand goalpost about halfway up. So that sums up the Crows' night in some ways. 1-4-10 to 7-8-50, 40-point lead of the Bombers. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
It's a difficult name to pronounce, Thilthorpe, Darcy. I'm just... Someone at some stage is going to do something spectacular.
You can't help but say
someone's going to stuff it up.
With a lisp, can you?
He's going to have a great grab or something. I just hope it's not me that butchers it. So the advantage goes the way of the Bombers. Running down the flank is Matty Guelphy. Gives it to Archie Perkins. He's already got 2. Have a shot, Archie! Have a shot, Archie! Narrow. Would have been his third. I like that he had a shot. 51 to 10. And the Triple M IJ Liquor score.
There's a few teammates who weren't.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he had a good look though, Brownie. So he didn't feel like he had a really good option to go to. Only just missed.
Nick Murray.
Oh, there's a roost.
Pounds a long drop punt from full back. Got it about 60 metres out. Thilthorpe picks it up nicely, and he's going to get it again. Riley Thilthorpe.
It's not easy.
Short one to Murphy. Out of wing, McDonald tip, and Woody gave chase. Put him under some pressure. Good speed there from Will Hamill.
Yeah.
Seedsman's handball missed the target. Lockie Scholl came back in. McHenry got it out wide and into the path of Murphy. He worked pretty hard. The little man, he started half back, Lockie Murphy. He takes the mark on 50, runs around the mark, just cruises to 45, and he's missed to the near side. So the Adelaide Crows remain on just the one major, 1-5-11 to 7-9-51. The Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Bombers and finals, Chew, live ladder sort of stuff. How are they placed here, the Bombers?
Yeah, so if they win this evening, which they will, you'd say, they'll only be 2 points outside the 8 behind GWS. Of course, they have a game in hand against the Gold Coast Suns.
All right. That's nice work. Smith, little low wobbler inside. Ridley hits the ball really hard. Schonberg stripped of the footy. Advantage will be paid here for the Bombers. Waterman, he's had a good night. And now the Bombers send a nice long ball to Perkins again. They're off half back here now, the Bombers.
Kick.
Came from Stewart.
Stand, please.
And And the Bombers continue to chip the ball to Merritt.
Interesting running style, Archie Perkins. Brownie kept an eye on. It looks like he's not trying that hard, but he moves the ground pretty well as Zach Merritt down the line. Langford didn't take it on the second attempt. Bounced back in his lap on the ground. And he's been... Okay, umpire, good look at it. We're a bit blindsided. He must have seen him drag the ball in, Chief.
Well, he didn't get the second grab for the mark, which is what he was going for. The ball bounced on the ground, and then he grabbed it because it was right next to him. So he's a little unlucky, but, you know, it's technically a correct decision by the umpire.
Brodie Smith. It's a good centering kick. This occasion he finds his teammate in Murray. They go to the outer wing side. AFL logo. Murphy's been prominent for the Crows to Scholl. Short one to Seedsman. You know what a powerful kick he is. He decided to go short. He wanted Big Billy Frampton, but it was easily taken care of. There's Jordan Ridley back there, who now goes short to Merritt.
Merritt across the face of goal. The Mac family's arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Get it as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. Cutler can't keep the ball in play. In fact, it's out the full. So Keys, a little stubby ball inward, finds the seed in the bright yellow long sleever. And they just get something going, the Crows. They trail by 40 points early stages, second half. Seedsman plays on, tries to step a man, doesn't really work out. In the end, gives it to the man in number 26, Sean Berg, all the way to the goals. But the red man marks a metre out from his defensive square.
Uncontested mark, though. Nobody there to compete or to try and shepherd it through for the Crows.
Jaden Laverty, Mason Redmond runs back on, collects the handball, and then tried to find Jordan Ridley. Great agility, Ridley. Always gets past an opponent with a nice little step out wide to Nick Cox. He can go left or right, this big man. Moves beautifully, took on the tackler and was intelligent because he managed to get the handball to Zach Merritt. Archie Perkins had a big night tonight. He goes looking for Jake Stringer. 15 metres out, good hands, Peter Wright. And Hooksy then dropped cold. And he's been a bit overzealous with the tackle, giving away a free kick in the form of Luke Pedler, the second gamer from PAC in South Australia.
What's PAC?
Prince Alfred College.
Is that where you went?
No.
Where'd you go?
Ross Trevor College.
Okay. They sound like fine institutions. Davis started off as the medical sub. He's on for Duday. Has Duday come up out of the rooms, Bob Jane's style, after that massive hit in the first term, Brown, or has he stayed down there?
No, he's just at the back of the bench, I think, Howie.
Okay. Bob Jane T-Marts get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy 3, get 1 free instant cash back. BobJane.com.au. Frampton started the game with a nice head of steam. Oh, geez, just kicked it horribly. He was looking for Keys, who was 12 metres away, and then he kicked it straight to Jones off the instep, who nearly turns over coming the other way. This is not good at the moment. They'll get it back here, the Crows. Frampton, Benny Davis wobbles one to the outer side, and the boundary line will probably just ease things down a bit, Chief. It's hard to get too excited about what we're seeing.
They've wound the clock back tonight, Howie.
Yeah.
A few years back when there were games that were actually unwatchable, they're just sort of flirting with that style of game, aren't they?
It is.
Got the Chief, we've got Nate Brown, the Triple M Cbus Super Special comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Cbus for all of us. James Stewart, really well tackled. Phil Thorpe, he's coughed it up. And the Lockie Merton shot at goal, 20 metres out directly in front. What are we seeing?
I reckon the boys are saying it's hit the post, the Essendon defenders.
That's what they're saying, but I don't think the goal umpire saw it that way.
Sure. Okay. Clear out to get this. Score review. Umpire's call is a goal. Could you please confirm? Right.
Chelsea Roffey.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, Chelsea.
Doesn't get many wrong, Duke.
We're going to the arc, and let's hope the arc's up to it, Chief. It's constructed by a man, the big nose producer, Luke Tunnicliffe.
I think we'll need Snicko.
So, Chief's called for the AFL edge.
Flat line. Another good call by Chelsea.
They're rocking and rolling a bit here, Howie.
Well, there's nothing on the...
well, have they gone to the edge? Have we seen the edge?
It's full Julia Roberts stuff.
I'd like to hear the call for the AFL edge on this one. Score review. And all clear. Well played, Chelsea. And the Adelaide Crows finally get their second goal, and it comes off the boot of Lachlan Murphy. They're 2-5-17. The Bombers are 7-9-51. That's all the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. Browning.
213 disposals, Duke, for those 2 goals, 5 at the moment. Been very hard work for the Adelaide Crows. They haven't been able to really get any game going at all. I think their best patch has probably been the last 5 minutes where they've had the ball in their half of the ground, but they're well off the Bombers tonight. They don't. I can't look around the ground and see a winner for Adelaide at the moment who has probably won their position. So that's how bad they're going tonight.
Just with Paul Seedsman, number 1 rated player at the Crows this year, averaging a career high 26 touches. He's had 19 tonight, but 400 metres gained. He's actually second in the AFL for metres gained this year.
Who I reckon has done okay, Crows night, Brown, and that's Chase Jones on McDonald, Tip and Woody, who I don't think's had any impact on the game.
Yeah, 4 touches and scoreless, Tipper.
Triple M Seabus Supers delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all was Dunstall and Brown. What a combination. What a forward line that
That's a good call, Chief. I like that.
Imagine if you had Dunstall with Brown in the pocket. Gee whiz. That'd have been high quality, high octane stuff.
He wouldn't have been in the pocket long, Howard.
Why not?
We would have pushed him straight up outside the 50.
Clear the area. Surely not for that 10-week patch, though, as the ball comes to the near side.
Chief would want to be kicking it to him.
Merritt. Oh, nice, clever tap from Devon Smith. Falls to Tip and Woody. Tip hits 50, delays the hand pass. Big Hooksy picks it up, back to Tip from the pocket. Perkins, he's got 2. Make it 3. Archie! Check side! Archie Perkins has got a career high 3. He's putting on a show. Essendon 8-9-57. The Crows 2-5-17. Back out to 40 points on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent.
Some slick hands, wasn't it? A chain of hand passes down the boundary. Every time a Crows defender came up to confront the ball with the player, they handled it cleanly and they got the ball away. I think it was it Devon Smith with the clever tap up on the wing, which released McDonald, Tip and Woody. Then he got involved a couple of times. We've just said he's had a very quiet evening, so he gets himself involved a couple of times in that chain. And then they're able just to find Archie Perkins, who's having a really decent game. He's creating a lot of scoring opportunities, putting himself in some good positions and finding space. And a quality finish. The banana on the run. Very nice.
Good, Jack.
Rocking some good long hair too, isn't he?
Am I right, Nate Brown, in saying Archie Perkins is yet to be nominated for the Rising Star this year?
I believe you're right, Chuck.
That's interesting. Surely on the back of tonight. He's been outstanding this year, Archie Perkins.
Play on.
From down Brighton way.
Was across the Rising Star.
There wasn't. Didn't fill us with great confidence, did he, Nate? Fair to say.
I'm not saying he's not right, but he just sort of.
I think that'll upset the people that
100% right.
I'm not
signed on to the
right.
Nathan Brown Academy.
He's just go with confidence.
And I went with 38% confidence when I answered.
Yes, well, that's sort of what I was alluding to.
He's got that sort of sleepy tone in his voice, Nate, where he can lose him for a bit in these patches.
Well, the academy starts at 5 a.m, so it's a long day.
Kale, let him get it.
Hard work Nate's been putting in.
I can't believe it's a real thing.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy.
Move it on. Play on.
Crows driving ball out of side. Enormous pack of players. Bombers through Hine, having another good night. Just wobbles the ball forward, falls to Tip and Woody. He just stands there and takes one step, takes a bounce, takes a second bounce. Only covered about 12 metres. He's got to get done from behind. Tip. Somehow he's skillful enough to get a kick forward. Oh no, Kelly's dropped an absolute sitter. Perkins could be in for 4. Kelly wraps him up. Fine tackle. Did well, Jake, because he was. Rage called high. Let's have a listen to this.
He did a 7:20.
Well, at least a 7:20. Having a look on the replay, Chiefy.
We'll stand there. Otherwise, I would have picked
1, 2. Well, it's against McHenry, who came in and did make high contact. But I guess the question is, are you allowed to do a 7:20?
Wow.
Tackle.
Wouldn't have been an issue if Jake Kelly had taken the mark.
Correct. Shocking drop.
Archie Perkins for number 4. Hooks it, brings it back.
So he's getting nervous because he's in bag territory now. He could have 5 to his name. He's kicked a couple of points, hasn't he now, Ash? 3-2?
Spot on, Jace. 3-2.
58-17. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent. Bombers well in front.
He's staring down the barrel of a 5 or 6 here.
What's
getting
a bag,
a bit nervous.
Chief? Is a bag 5 and up?
No, I think 4 is a bag these days.
What about
particularly if you're a non-key position player?
What was a bag for you?
7.
Get it right. takes the mark on the Adelaide.
No, back in that day, I think for forwards, or full forwards, because it was the era of high scores and whatever, I think 7 meant you'd had a really good day.
Chief was saying for the mere mortal of bags 4, he averaged 4.6 as
completely different game though.
Big Carl Hooker hasn't seen a lot of it. Will Snelling, Hooksy's picked it up now. Gets it back. Dev Smith weaved through some traffic. McDonald, Tipper Woody directly in front. And Tipper's got it. Anthony McDonald, Tipper Woody playing footy. He's nailed it. Tough night for Matty Nixon and his boys. 9-10-64 to 2-5-17. The Bombers have got their eyes on a big win here tonight in the Triple M Jellica scoreboard.
No sooner, Brownie, had I stuck up for Chase Jones saying he's done a great job on McDonald, Tipper Woody. He's lit up the early part of the third quarter.
And we were talking about Devon Smith, and hasn't had the best year stat-wise, and talking about him at half-time, and then all of a sudden he pops up in the third quarter and he set up a couple of goals. The one that he tapped on the wing on this occasion, front and centre, perfectly got to the footy and then was able to find some space, Devon Smith. And normally he loves a shot at goal. He weaved in and out of 4 players, but the good thing about Devon Smith on that occasion is he put Tip and Woody into space, put his teammate into a better position to kick the goal, but right under Devon Smith.
Chief, as you say, it's a different game. If you were playing the modern game and you average 4.6 in the day, what do you think you'd average in the current game? Goals per game.
Oh, in this today?
Yeah.
Probably only 4.5, Howie.
Be a long way up the ground for Chief to push up and make the ground smaller and then get back.
I won't be pushing up and getting back.
So the Chief said he would go down from 4.6 to 4.5 a game.
It's a big concession from Chief.
Except I'll be playing at the lower level, Howie.
No, Chiefy. Now the Bombers looking to go forward again. They are really looking to get a percentage boost tonight. They are destroying the Crows. Parrish winds it forward. Tip and Woody back of the pack. Perkins, he's got 3. Looks to go up the ground. Oh, Archie didn't quite have the distance. Chill, give us an update on percentage and whether it's of any real interest. 65-17 the way of the Bombers. Chewy, Red Dead.
It certainly is. So coming into tonight's game, the Bombers' percentage was just under 99%. They've pretty much made up 3.5 percentage points already. They're at 102.5. So
very important.
Very important. We have West Coast. They're at 95.3. Of course, Bombers are currently 1 game behind them. Of course,
Tigers. What's their percentage?
Yeah, Jason, just over 100.
So they're right in the mix. Yep. I mean, take GWS out of the equation because they've got the draw. They're right in the mix percentage-wise.
Red Dead Lending, loans for the self-employed.
The Bombers would love to fill their boots right up tonight. They're on track. 65-17, 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Old coach of ours used to say that, Nate, pretty regularly. Fill your boots up.
So Dow's.
Who was that, Chief?
Alan Jeans. Fill your bloody boots.
Might have passed that on to Terry Wallace, potentially.
100%.
I'm sure that's where it came from. Stewart takes a good mark at half-back for the Bombers.
I reckon Plough told me at 3/4 time one day when I think I'd kick 5 to fill your boots in the last quarter.
Just threw in that you had 5, did you?
You didn't need encouragement, Nate, to look after yourself, let's be honest. Here's Devon Smith streaming down the wing on the not-preferred. Carl Hooker has been pretty well held tonight for mine, please, true man.
Yeah, 8 disposals, hasn't taken a mark, 1 goal, 2.
Riley O'Brien has hacked that out of bounds on the full, so the Bombers going to launch another inside 50 here.
31 for the year, Carl Hooker. So hasn't had a great night tonight. He's already kicked 1, but if he finishes with another goal, 2 goals a game and contesting is all the Bombers are asking for him.
Langford with one of those defensive kicks that Dar says should be outlawed inside 50. Now the Crows through Jones. What was your biggest haul in a game, Nathan?
Holding
7.
7.
Oh, a bag.
Free kick to Phil Thorpe. What about you, Dars?
Would have been 6, I think, Howie.
6.
Poor man's bag.
Mate, was that the week when you're 7, when you held the ball above your head before 3/4 time to celebrate and we ended up getting rolled for about 35 points at 3/4 time? Is that
7 on more on one occasions, but yeah, running into an open goal.
Carried on like a bit of a tool and
As a young man, I was pretty excited.
And as the ball goes inside 50 for the Crows, tied on the boundary line. Hope it goes across the line so Dars can fill us in on this story. And not going anywhere. So what happened, Dars?
we're playing on, it was a Brad Scholl.
Brad Scholl.
Kicked 7 up to 3/4 time and
it was 10 minutes into the third.
Brad got a beautiful front and centre goal and then running into the goal square, looking back at Scholey, holding the ball over his head, going, cop that, Scholey, cop that. And we get steamed.
Lost the game.
We got lost. We got smashed in the last quarter. Is that true, Nate?
I did a double-page spread that day, and they asked me one of the questions, what's your ideal night out? And I think my response, and I don't think I know, it was drinking VB cans till 5 a.m. Not only did I get blamed for losing the game for us, but then I copped that after the game.
Did he say anything to you, Brad Scholl, after the game?
No.
Suck shit, I think, was what I heard.
No.
Draper with a fist out the Cox.
He just had 7 kick on him.
Pretty tight on the outer side.
I mean, Lippy.
Out of bounds. Can you imagine if a modern footballer went with that now in their player profile? Idea of a night out, drink BB camp till 5 a.m.
Oh, Plough went off.
He's come a long way to the Planet Shakers, isn't he, Nate?
He has.
It's a big turnaround, that young man.
He has. And he's better for it.
Found God. Ollie O'Brien got it down to Rory Sloane.
Not enough yet.
Billy Frampton's taking a good market and out forward.
Well, he's threatened to take half a dozen of those, Billy Frampton, today. And that's probably what's held him back from being a regular and a decent contributor for the Crows. He's got good size. He's not a bad athlete for a big bloke. He gets his hands to a few. He's got to find ways to take these contested marks and then turn them into goals.
Drafted by Port Adelaide, big Billy Frampton back in 2014. He's been in the system for a long while. He gets a chance tonight. Got to kick these sort of goals. Big Billy, 200 centimetre key forward, 49 metres shot. Not a bad strike of the ball. As he snuck it home, he has missed. 2-6-18 to 9-11-65. That's all in the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, just shaving the post on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Keep your air clean at home with the Dyson Air Purification range. Now in Harvey Norman, that's what you need, some nice clean air. Ridley, fullback. He comes on a short
noise at someone.
Strange noise in the back row. Oh, 50.
Keep it tidy back there. See my super boys.
It's against Pedler, and it goes away Marty Gleeson. He's just going to run and run and run. She's a big 50. Bombers right in the middle now at Marble. Hacked to the outer side by Merritt. That's a task to the exciting Cox. Gets around Frampton. Look at this. Takes a bounce. Feeds it off to Snelling. Now Cox with the Shepherd. Should give it back to Cox. He does now. Back inboard. Dev Smith. They're messing around with it. Centering ball towards Tippin Woody. Chase Jones, Chiefs man. Marks and marks well at centre half back. 65-18. The Bombers up. 3:38 to go before the final break on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Boy from Tassie, Chase Jones, who was picked 9 for the Adelaide Crows back in 2018. They got high hopes for Chase Jones.
Good name.
Rory Sloane now at half back.
So it was a good change of direction from Jones, but then once Sloane marked it, he looked up. 5 of the first 6 players to push across the ground were all Essendon.
Redmond. He goes back with a kick through the corridor to Snelling. And a couple of runners going past that he chose to ignore. Will Snelling now. Cutler wants it short. He's going to get a Shepherd from Draper. It was a pretty well crafted kick to Redmond, who got moving straight away. That's a better bit of movement, and as we often say, it just changes the dynamic of the game, doesn't it, when you cut back through the middle of the ground, Brownie?
And they haven't done a lot tonight. On a couple of occasions they have gone through the middle of the ground. They've been very risk averse tonight, the Bombers, for a side that does like to attack, and they change direction. They get it to Mason Redmond at centre half forward, who then changes direction back the other way, and all the defenders are out. They don't know where to go. There's all one-on-ones ahead of them, and it was an easy 15-metre kick to Devon Smith.
Usual kicking routine. Dev Smith puts the ball down and has a practice swing of the leg before he kicks it. He has missed that one to the near side, so the Bombers extend their lead. 9-12-66 to 2-6-18. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Who's got the votes tonight?
Brownie.
Okay. The Crows have got it on half back. In the hands of McKay. He wants to go all the way across defensively. He does. To 30 out from his goal. Switches on the outer side. They hit bustling Billy. He's got a man. And that's a good ball to find Rowe. Game 16 for the Henley product. Son of a player himself. Here's Rowe. Ball on the outer side. Nicely picked off by the Crows in Will Hamill. He was laid in for Himmelberg. Now Seidman does a full 360. Drops a high ball towards the pocket. Ridley so good in the air. Has a second crack at it, and it's run through from behind by Redmond. So the Crows, 2 goals, 7-18. Bombers 9-12-66 on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. We've got 1:18 to go before the final break.
Mason Redmond, ball in hand at full back For the Bombers, they controlled this game really from the first moment. And the margin is 66-19. So we pointed out earlier, there's a chance to really load up here. They can get a percentage booster, but not a lot of urgency in their ball movement at the moment. Long and high and slow and down the line. Harry Jones gave a good competitive attempt but couldn't control the mark. We're right in front of the interchange race, down where Tommy Brown's situated for Bob Jane teammates. What are you seeing down there, Tommy?
Kyle Langford went down to the rooms briefly, but he's back out and he's all fine. In terms of the Bombers bench, they've got a saying, discipline to stay in our A, in inverted commas on their screen. Let our shape move the ball forward. That's the message on the screen in front of the bench.
Interesting, Brownie. Hook round the corner. Riley O'Brien taps it down towards Smith. He sends it back exactly where it came to Redmond. Now Hine. That's a good ball. Really opening up the full expanses of Marvel. They've got Cox. He needs to go in a hurry. He does a little slider to Gleeson. What's he got ahead of him? He's got a couple of leading targets. Now players running back hard to get into space. The impressive Cutler. I've said how athletic and fit he looks, this man. Cutler. Too far out to score. Or is he? Is he going to unload, Nate, from 50?
We tried to do this in the first quarter. The umpire called him a play. He's a very long kick at goal, Howard.
Tommy from Greythorne, he's going to have to launch this. I don't want to exaggerate, so I want to say 57 metres. Now siren goes, and this is good. Now he could see barrels or all sorts. So Cutler, is he going to stick to the drop punt, Nate? He's gone back. He's on centre wing, city side.
Let it go. Must go over his head.
Very confident young man.
Tommy Cutler, I like everything about him.
Drop punt, I think.
Drop punt. This will have to be an enormous bomb. If he kicks this, we all need to get up and about. He kicks it, but nowhere near the required distance. And there'll be no score. So a bit of an anticlimax in the end. 66-19, three-quarter time. Bob Jane T. Brown.
Yeah, development on Langford. I thought he was okay, so he's gone down to the bench for the second time tonight. He's now been subbed out, so Ham will come on. So I'll follow up with the Bombers what the matter with Langford is. I thought he looked okay, but he has been down to the rooms twice tonight with an injury concern with the doctor.
One of my pet hates, Howie.
Yeah, what's that, mate?
Players that don't kick a barrel in that situation on the siren. They fall 8 metres short.
We've seen it a number of times.
Bizarre.
Yeah. All of a sudden they think they can find an extra 5 or 10 metres in their best drop punt. I don't know why. Yeah, it's a free hit.
Give the crowd what they want, Chief.
But it's your only chance of scoring, Howie. You're not going to suddenly develop a 10 metre longer drop punt.
No, they're self-conscious, Howie. They don't want to shank one and put themselves out there. The younger generation, it's bizarre.
But you could elevate yourself.
I could agree, Howie.
Mitch Duncan's style.
We saw Toby Green do it.
Yes,
How good was that?
How amazing.
Brilliant. I'd fine, another $10,000 fine. You don't kick a barrel. Saw Andrew Dillon, who's running the AFL. We're going to run a few of these ideas past Dills. See if he can find players who aren't bold enough to have a crack.
Are you going to run...
He's taken over from Steve Hocking. Dills will get that up, I reckon.
Are you going to run by him that you're running by me, that you get 2 picks a year as a media commentator? If the game's not up to scratch, you can...
We get the call. If the game's as crap as it has been tonight, call it off.
You can go home.
All right, we'll run that past Dills.
I think that'll get up as well. McDonald's and Remont Water, the Bombers lead it by 47 points at three-quarter time. It's revolutionary, I'm Andas. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
the Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large Mac family meal. Get it as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. Victoria. Everyone needs to check in, everywhere, every time. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne. Triple M Rocks Footy.
She's a beauty.
On Melbourne's 105.1.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M's Rockin' Footy.
Revo with us. You'd rather be North or Collingwood? Right now? That's a great question.
I'll take North every day of the week.
I think I'd rather be Collingwood because of the
Wrong answer.
Because
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6.
Just mucking around, having a bit of fun.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
To celebrate 50 years of Macca's, we're introducing the Mac family. And with every medium or large Mac Junior, Big Mac or Grand Big Mac meal, you'll get one of 6 free Macca's glasses, but only for a limited time. Available after 10:30am while stocks last.
At Harvey Norman, healthy air means a healthy home. Know your air is clean with the Dyson Air Purification range. Now at Harvey Norman. Like the Dyson Hot Plus Cool Purifier Fan Heater. Its innovative filtration system and super sensors diagnose air quality to remove 99.95% of airborne particles, such as allergens, bacteria, viruses, pollen, and mold spores. Or the Dyson 3-in-1 Hot Plus Cool Purifier Fan Heater from $649. Be in control of the air you breathe. Healthy air means a healthy home. Now at Harvey Norman.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
In 2021, Triple M rocks footy.
You don't get that on the other stations.
Temper mattresses. Feel comfort. Feel support. Feel Temper. Find AFL player stories at temper.com.au.
That is a ripper!
Hard Yakka is for a new breed of Aussie legends. Toughness is in their DNA. No shortcuts. Hard Yakka, a history of hard.
That makes it tough.
For Ream and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Tokyo Smokio, the medal count is on here at Pie Face. We've just bagged 11 medals at the 2021 Australia's Best Pie Awards. That calls for a woohoo! Pie Face, the home of award-winning pies.
Do you work in a government department that uses aerial imagery? Imagine having more frequent captures, historical views, and a wider coverage. Thanks to Metro Map, you can. Covering Metro and regional Australia, you can use the web app or pull imagery into your own application. Start your free trial today and discover more detailed and accurate aerial imagery with Metro Map. Visit metromap.com.au. Powered by Aerometrics. It's more than a map. T's and C's apply.
Business pressures, tax, cash flow, competitors, loan commitments. Not much fun left, is there?
I'm Simone from Your Business Angels. There's no shame in admitting you need help. We can solve many of your business issues so you can start enjoying your business again. After all, you're in business to improve your life, not suffer in silence.
Solve these nagging business issues and call Your Business Angels on 9898 2559. That's 9898 2559. Repair the past and rescue the future.
Victoria. Everyone needs to check in, everywhere, every time. Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne. Triple M rocks footy.
She's a beauty!
On Melbourne's 105.1.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Crispy old night at Marvel. Essendon led it by 15 at quarter time, 35 at the half, 47 at three-quarter time. The Crows 2-7-19, Essendon 9-12-66. Archie Perkins has lit it up with 3 fantastic goals. A bit happening down there, Bob Jane style. Get world-class deals on world-class brands. Buy free, get one free and instant cashbacks. BobJane.com.au. Tommy Brown.
So Durday's concussion, obviously the injury story of the night, as is now Langford's injury. It looks like he might have a soft tissue concern. He's been subbed out of the game. In fact, I think his right hamstring might be getting taped up as we speak. I'll follow that up. That's sort of an injury blow for the Bombers in the context of what's been obviously a very positive night.
Thanks, Brownie. Bomber fans, we want to see their team fill their boots, as Das alerted us to earlier on. They'd like to see Archie Perkins end up with a little junior bag as well. Laird. Crows fans need to see something from their team. They've had a tough night. McKay taken away from the footy. The athletic Draper. Stringer's been reasonably quiet. Bangs a ball. Misses everyone. Was looking for Hooker on a long lead. Had a couple of metres on his opponent. Just got away from him. Boundary line wins out. Essendon attack.
If you reckon Adelaide's having a bad night.
Yep.
Rory Sloan and Rory Laird bumping into each other in the middle of the ground. The two best, most experienced players made a hash of it.
Jason Dunstall, we've got Nath Brown, the Triple M Super Special comments. Experts in the back row, the clearing kick from the Adelaide Crows in the direction of Marty Gleeson. Fisted it down, it was taken by Snelling. Nicely done back to Stringer. He looked at Brodie Smith, said, I'm too powerful, I'll get through you, and he did exactly that. Carl Hooker launched, juggled attempt, nearly landed back in his lap. McDonald tip on Woody lurking. He laid a good tackle, but Ray says no prior opportunity. The Bombers will have it thrown up 15 metres out, directly in front. Carl Hooker has got a pretty big limp up on the back of that marking attempt.
Just feeling a right ankle on the Harvey Norman replay is Kale. Looks to be moving okay now, though. Jones has been one of the best, if not the best, for the Crows. Seedsman, adventurous in the back line. And now McKay with a clearing ball to the outer side. Redmond fisted away from his man Pedler in game number 3. There is Rory Sloan. Seedsman in that distinctive Tour de France style yellow jumper. Hand passes to green grass. And the boundary line again wins out on the outer side.
I like the way Mason Redmond defends. He's always got contact on his opponent, and he initiates that contact early in marking contests and was perfect on the other side. Didn't do too much, just knew how much body he had to put on to take that mark, and he's becoming a fine young defender.
Stringer, a couple of powerful touches in the start of this final term. Kick looking for the second game of Pedler. It's taken away from him by a couple of Bombers. Nick Hine, and the lead up forward is Will Snelling.
Brilliant by Nick Hine. He closed really hard, and you hate to play on halfbacks who can close really hard if the ball just sits up a little bit. But not only that, he got there, he was able to cause the fist, but he was the first man off the ground to get up, get the ball again, and then used his smash to get the ball inside to Snelling. I think this is the best game I've seen Snelling play for the Bombers.
It's the sixth season. All of them have been as a rookie. Will Snelling came back from a 3-week thumb injury last week. Good looking kick. As he got it through, just snuck it home, I think. Will Snelling kicks the first and last. The Bombers are 10-12-72. The Crows 2-7-19. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies. It was 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores here on Triple M.
Nick Hine, 18 kicks tonight, 94% efficiency rate. That's amazing off the half-back line. And Snelling, 21 disposals, 1 goal, 1. His personal best is 25. He's been in everything tonight. And I reckon the message at three-quarter time from Ben Rutten was, we want to win this quarter. And we want to win it by minimum 2 to 3 goals. We cannot be outscored. Percentage is going to be so important. The Bombers are still an opportunity to play finals, obviously. And I reckon that final 8 spot probably comes down to a percentage play if there's a couple of sides there. Obviously, you mentioned the Giants have got the extra 2 points or negative 2 points, however way you look at it at the end of the season, but very important come round 23 to have that percentage.
Nath Brown, Jason Dunstall, Triple M Seabus Supers, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. The Shah Akhtar, Wasim Akram style
Who do you
combination.
No, if it wasn't.
He's got the 502 after shave.
And Shoaib is loose like you too.
Yeah, very true.
Shoaib once reported out for a very strange reason at one stage. Are we allowed to mention that?
Oh, was it good?
Do we go there, Howard?
No, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't go.
Stringer marks. I'm sure it's on the Google machine.
True story?
Well, I don't know him that well, as you'll gather from Google, I think. Das, little low slider. I'm happy for you to go with it.
Picked up by Jake Stringer. We'll just have a think about that. See if the producer back there's his hand on the dump button.
Doesn't typically.
Mark taken.
Can't dump live, Duke.
By Peter Wright. It's a good point. Big 2 metre Peter. 55 metre shot it'll take.
We'll back you up.
Where's he at, Chief? Peter Wright. What's he playing at the moment?
He's on the precipice, Duke. If he doesn't have a strong season, you've got to wonder where his future lies. Because if he's been given a second opportunity here, he's broken in, he's played some football, he's got to start contributing on a regular basis or he'll find himself out of the game.
Peter Wright. Beautiful looking kick. And you just see those glimpses. I wonder if he can put it all together. As he got it home, the big ruckman Riley O'Brien couldn't get a hand on it. And the Bombers go back-to-back goals to start the final term. 11-12-78. That's Essendon. 2-7-19 the Crows on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's a big man, isn't he?
Yes, Nath, he is.
Certainly is.
2 metres tall, actually.
Yeah, he's 2 metres tall. Thank you, Duke.
Thank goodness they took the taping off his head.
Do you think he's done enough tonight? You look at his game, there's a couple of opportunities where he probably could have marked it. He's missed a couple of easy opportunities. You look at his stats at the end of the night, he's probably contributed what he needed to in 2 goals and been a backup ruckman for Draper in the middle. So has he done his job tonight, Chief?
Tonight he has, but he's got to do it every week. That's the challenge for Peter Wright, and it always has been. We saw glimpses, and I mean just glimpses up at the Gold Coast, but far too often, go game after game and just no impact.
Last for the Bombers, Chewy.
Yeah, just the Bombers' dominance in the front half. The inside 50 is 50-25. Disposals inside 50, 71-13.
Stringer grabs it out of the middle, puts it under the arm, looks towards Jones, hooker. Clever hand pass back into the corridor. Frampton, who started forward, is now back. Waterman arrives on the scene, as does Snelling. Bombers really looking for a big one here. Tipping Woody. He just falls into space. They just run off him. Back to Perkins. He's got 3 string. He'll have a shot. Jake wobbles it forward. Misses. Bombers 11-13, 79. The Crows 2-7-19. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
Jake Kelly has gone sideways to Brodie Smith, half back, and we've just seen a lot of that conservative ball movement for the Crows. Butts has got it now. It's end up back with Jake Kelly. A little reluctance to go through the corridor, so they're just chipping it around in their defence. This is Frampton, who's pushed deep, in fact.
He's played in defence in the third quarter.
Big Billy still trying to find his way in the game as a young key position player who's been in the system for a while, but not a permanent member of the team. Kelly goes back to Brodie Smith. Mark's been taken, and they've had over a dozen possessions, it feels like, in the last 30 seconds, but they're still at half back.
The better sides that do this kick-mark game, and Geelong are the perfect example, they kick the ball forward. They very rarely kick it back. They might go with a lateral one to get them going, but they always move forward, because this is what happens. You turn the footy over and you're only at halfway, and all of a sudden all your forwards and defenders are up one end of the ground and the Bombers can move the footy.
That was their first attempt to really go forward, Brownie, and they coughed it up badly, the Crows. Now Waterman's got it. Signals that he's going to go. Oh, he's kicked it straight into the rib cage of the man on the mark. Ricochet back to him, and they've got it now in their hands of Laverde at centre back for the Bombers.
Jaden to the outer side. Ream hot water. Ask your plumber to install the ream. As always, they come on steady, hot and strong. That's a good mark on the outer side by Cox. Likely tight. Needs a few kilos on his frame. He'll be a beast at some stage. With the number 13, Nicky Cox, 200 centimetres, 87 kilos. Montmorency boy drops it forward to O'Brien. Tipping Woody. Smith just went off the ground into his defensive goals. 80 to the Bombers, 19 to the Crows. We've got 13:52 to go before this one is done.
Brodie Smith again now, ball in hand. Shapes to go up the middle and then pounds a long ball out to the outer wing. Oh, good mark taken out there by Laverde. Braden Ham was the medical sub. We'll get to Tommy Brown in a moment and find out what's happened on that one, unless he's already told us, and I wasn't listening. Berry's been well tackled.
Archie
Perkins, chance to kick goal number 4. What a night he's had, Archie Perkins. It's been enormous. Tommy, just in case I drifted off, Tommy, who's the medical sub?
Dart, I'm not offended at all. The medical sub, of course, is Ham. Langford was the injury, which we did mention a couple of times shortly ago. He's got a right hamstring injury that was subbed off about 15 minutes ago.
Thanks, Tommy.
With Adelaide trying to control the footy, you'd think they'd be able to keep the ball off the Bombers, but there's been 18 intercept marks to 6 tonight in favour of the Bombers.
It's been a nice night for Archie Perkins. Young man, 13 disposals, 3 goals, 2. Career high 4th. Can he steer it home? He's got the wobbles a couple of times, Archie.
You know what he is, Duke? He's a much better kick from 50 to 55 because he really loads up and he kicks through the football. But you get him in around that 30 metre mark and he just stabs it, tries to steer it through, changes the way he kicks from 30 to 50, and it's always a danger.
It's the bag. That's the problem. It's been staring him in the face. And he's been put off by it.
Another chance here for Archie. Hits 50. Oh, goes the unselfish centering modern footballer approach, which I guess is the idea of the game, but it goes straight to the big man, Geordie Butts, out of Shepparton. And he marks at centre half back as Archie just shakes his head on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Keep your air clean at home with the Dyson air purification range. Now, Harvey Norman, big fly on the outer side. That's Redmond. So the Bombers will reload again. Hopefully they look for Archie. For Essendon fans.
Strange decision to go long that side when he's got Phil Thorpe and O'Brien out the other side.
On the lead, he's tip and Woody. Oh, good grab. Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody at speed. Duke's extended. Has he got the legs from 50?
No.
Okay. He's holding 2 fingers up. Solid framed operator, isn't he? He's a little barrel, the Tip. Very strong customer. And as Chief said, he goes to lay it off. That's slack defence from the Crows. And Bid Hooksy just falls into the gap and he'll have a shot now from 30, and Tip thinks that's quite funny.
Having a good giggle out there, so the Bombers are going all right at the moment. But if you're Matty Nicks, you're like, you've got at least 16 players in your defensive 50, and you've only got to guard probably 20 metres of space. The only place that can go is either there or the top of the square, and they didn't defend it.
10 disposals, 1 goal, 2 tonight for big Kale Hooker. He'll have a second one in the little kit bag. Nice follow through, just slides to the right. So the Bombers, 11-16, they could have really done a job on the Crows. As it is, they lead it by 63 points, Chief, on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Should still be a 100-pointer the way they're going.
Yep.
Jake Kelly just caresses that one. Full back. The mark was dropped out there for the Crows, and it's going to come back again with interest. Snelling releasing handball to Ham. The activated medical sub, and he's blazed away and missed almost out of bounds on the full. Just snuck it in for a minor score. 11-17, 83. 2-7-19. Still just under 11 minutes remaining in this game on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's 11 inside 50s, 2 goals, 5 in this last quarter. The Crows have been inside once. They're yet to score, and there to say it, I think Adelaide have been uncompetitive in this last quarter.
O'Brien takes a good mark in the middle of the ground. Two-man's getting some knowledge, which is just making his head spin at the moment through the headset. We'll get to that in a moment. Keys. Now the Seeds man. Bangs it inside 50. There's a hold on an Essendon player.
Better be good, Chew.
Adelaide free kick.
Going for the Crows.
Thilthorpe.
Oh, Thilthorpe. What happened, Chew?
Well, I think when Brownie did my top 5 clangers 20 years at Triple M, I think 3 of those featured myself in the rooms.
Yep.
Well, I've been told by the producer, Luke Tunnicliffe, I'm heading down to the Bombers' rooms after the game.
Post-game?
Yep.
Wow. Thilthorpe. From 30 out. Thilthorpe misses.
Bad miss. It was a free kick that was there. It's against Stewart, who just grabbed one arm and kept him out of it. Straight off the bench. Big Peter Wright gets the kick out.
What are you thinking of rolling with first up, Chew, when you head down to the Bombers' room?
That's easy. What did the coach say after the game, Das?
I think you need to speak to Archie Perkins, Chew, man. Yeah, man.
We'll go with something better than that, Ash.
I know. I've got it. Well, any clues, Brownie? You can.
If you don't go Archie Perkins, just ask him about his hairstyle.
Let me write this down. Yep.
Just say what's inspired your hairstyle, Archie.
I wouldn't go with that first.
A little icebreaker first, Chew, I would have thought. Here's McKay inboard to Hamill. Jake Kelly's overlap run was good. Bit of an up and under kick. Hard one for Thilthorpe, and easy pickings back there. Big 2-metre Peters taking the mark in defence.
It's disappointing news in the technical department I'm hearing in the background.
Very excited, Chew, with some more good news tonight.
Apparently they don't have a mic stand small enough for Chew to be able to operate the room.
We've got to turn the ship around, Das. No post-match interview.
That's disappointing.
What will the relays do without it?
We'll go to 1 2 3 5 3. Give us a call. Merritt. We'll get our relays involved after the game, Chief, if things work out. Not much happening here, so you're not missing anything. The Bombers are destroying them. Hams. 45. Ham just dropped it straight to Kelly, who marks in his defensive square. 83-20, 63-point lead. The Bombers, 9 to go. To this one's done.
How was the joy in Chew, man, when he worked out that he was off the hook there, Chew? It's your 20th year celebration, Chew.
It's not a strong point of mine, as you know, Das.
It's a testimonial.
Testimonial year, Chew. You've got to just take those opportunities. Devon Smith got the spoil in, crashing through Chase Jones. Good full-bodied attack on the ball. Still trying to find a way out at half forward. The Bombers here. Billy Frampton. Just heard Ray say, you dragged that one under him, Jakey boy. To Jake Stringer, who's trying to manufacture a holding the ball decision. Here's Rory Laird. What's he had, Two-man, tonight?
27 disposals.
Been a bit of a nondescript 27, if that makes sense. Hasn't really had huge impact. Stringer's caught one high. Free kick to the Bombers. Big man / midfielder, Big Jake.
Stand now. Stand. Thank you.
70 metres out, Jake. What's going on, Howie?
Oh, I can't. You know how Brownie advertised his email for the NAB Academy? I'll get back to you.
Don't tell me someone applied.
Someone's applied for the gig. The Academy.
It's brilliant stuff.
We need to investigate this next week.
Jared Graham, his name is.
We'll get him on next week, Jared. Tell him we'll get him on. You can do a pre-game interview with him and a job interview, Nate. We'll get him on the huddle. Meanwhile, the Bombers have got the ball in the hands of Laverde.
Do they get grades?
Well, this is extraordinary that the...
Mate will be emailing back quick smart, so put a deposit in.
I'd take crypto. Oh, I love it, Nath. We need to get Jared on next week. What does his email say, Nate? Gleeson?
His email said, "Hi Brownie, I'd love to be your understudy and take over from you one day. Give me a crack, Jared."
Short, sharp, to the point. I like it.
No mention of money.
No.
Does he have to join the Shakers? Perkins. Little underground hand pass. Ham. Don't worry, not missing anything at the moment. Jones. Back to Perkins, who's played his best game in the red and black. Now Hine. Massages the ball forward. Big Peter.
Oh my goodness, that was pedestrian. He was jogging.
He was, and he'll line up from 50, Chief, the big man.
Well, his last kick was good enough to kick it from here. He bombed one moments ago straight through the middle. A repeat effort here. How many's he got, Ash? Kicked a couple?
Yeah, Triple M, Red Z, 2 majors.
Yeah, so be a good return if he can get 3.
I think he'll launch this, Chief, and we'll get right behind him if he nails this 2 in a row. And it'll be his 3rd goal for the big boy, Peter Wright, from 50 to really light up the Essendon crowd. He hits it sweetly. It's got legs. Poster.
Halfway up too.
Wow, 84 to 20, 64-point margin the way of the Bombers. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Choose here with the Red Zeds. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed.
6:27 remaining in this game. 64-point margin, as Howie just said. And
it's a sweet kick.
He times them well, the big fella. The Chief and Brandon, this could easily have been a 100-plus job for the Bombers with a little more accuracy and a bit more zing in the game. True, man?
Yeah, it does, just with Rory Laird. So usually 53% of his disposals are in the back half of the ground. He averages 32 this year. Well, tonight, 25 out of his 29 have been in the back half. Just the one entry inside 50.
Oh, nice work on the Triple N Red Z lending stats, True, man. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed.
Having said that, that's where the ball's been most of the time.
Yeah.
In Essendon's forward half.
What would Adelaide's lowest score be? They've been a proud club, Tuman.
They have 3-6-24 is their lowest score of all time. And they're currently at 2-8-20, Howie.
Okay, that gives us something to discuss.
And their lowest score against Essendon?
6-11-47.
Oh, they got that covered.
Yep.
And the official attendance, 23,604 hardy souls have braved a frosty evening in Melbourne with the roof open due to COVID.
So disappointing, how isn't it?
Well, we could have 40.
We could have 40 here at Marvel tonight.
It's not cheap.
Bombers having a good year. What does it cost, Howie, to go to the footy?
Well,
did you have to fork out, Howie?
No, my father came over from Tassie last week and he went to Melbourne GWS and he got his tickets online. It was $70 to get in the door.
So why aren't you getting your old man tickets, Howie?
Beg your pardon?
Why wouldn't you get your old man tickets?
You can't due to the COVID restrictions, unfortunately, Chief. I asked.
What?
I was told that wasn't possible as the ball goes out of bounds on the other side.
You can pay for them.
Of course you can.
No, I couldn't get any tickets due to COVID. He couldn't come in the box. He could do nothing but sit in the outer.
No, but you can buy the tickets for him to get along. That's what I'm saying.
I could buy him in tickets.
Yeah.
Mate, but Dad's worth the squillion. I don't have to worry about sorting him out. Ian
Mr. Howie, Big Ian.
Mate, he's
where did Ian make his cash?
He's done all sorts of things.
What's Ian Howard worth, Nate?
I don't know. This is the first I've heard about old man Howard being a gold mine.
He comes from money.
Comes from money.
I never knew that.
Well, he didn't have any when he started.
He's disdain for people you should have known.
He couldn't be happy having a surfy bum as a son, though.
No, he was very concerned when I said I wanted to go into the media. He said, well, there's a waste of your life. I quote.
So it cost Ian Howard $70 to go to the footy.
Yep.
What was he in?
Melbourne GWS.
What did he do?
That was in the Ponsford stand.
What did he do for a crust?
I don't think we need to go into that at the moment.
We got some time.
Bit questionable, is it, Howard?
No, he started his career as an engineer.
You got 2 phones as well.
Is he doing some part-time hitman work or something? Or
nothing like others in the box.
All right, Nick Hines got it at half-back, goes short to Cutler.
Oh, they're out here if they go quick, yep.
And that's what they do. Hine goes out wide of Waterman. He's on the Medallion Club wing side here. Oh, he wanted to go back in board to Ham, and now he's set him a bit of a task. Ham good enough to pick it up. Campbell was partially smothered. Braden Ham started as medical sub and just a little laconic, the Bombers there. They had an opportunity to get it forward inside 50, but it's been wrapped up just attacking half the wing for the Bombers. 84 to 20. Essendon by 64 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Here it is. What's my back?
It was Essendon by 15 at quarter time, 35 at the half, 47 at three-quarter time. That margin is 64 points. They've won every quarter And as Two-Man alerted us to, their percentage is going north, and the Crows, well, they're threatening their lowest ever score in the AFL competition, which is 24 points. Dangerous tackle. It's going the way of the Crows.
Really?
Against Dev Smith, who has a bit of a laugh at the He's a feisty customer, Dev Smith. And the free kick goes the way of the Crows. And they've got it through Scholl. In fact, it's not Scholl. It is old mate Will Hamill.
Logging Howard's got ripped off last week.
I don't know. He just jumped on the provider, and that's the best he could do.
Why is he complaining if he's worth gazillions?
Well, he wasn't complaining. He told me how much the football was, and I was surprised by the price of entry to a game, Chief.
Jimmy Rose got it. Now this is the activated medical sub, Ben Davis, for the Adelaide Crows.
How is that not incorrect disposal?
That seems to have gone out of the game, incorrect disposal, Chief. You can drop the ball at will, apparently. Braden Ham back to Dev Smith, picked it up off his toes. Back to Zach Merritt. What's he had, Two-Man?
35 touches.
Centering kick. Oh, a bit too tall for Archie Perkins. Mark taken back there by Billy Frampton.
They've made a hash of some of these opportunities, the Bombers, going forward. I mean, it's still going to be a really good win, and it's going to be a percentage booster, but it could have been so much bigger.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, only 2:44 to go in this one. She's been a tough sell. Essendon fans loving what they're seeing, a 64-point margin. That's a good grab from Stewart. Nice defensive work. He's got options inboard. Go for it, Jimmy. Pull the trigger. He does, and he turns it over to Keys, who goes to don't argue. They're looking to beat their lowest ever score. He's called to play on. Just not going their way at the moment, the Crows. Redmond's caught with a footy. Ball will be Nath stymied across halfback. Oh, free kick. Free kick the way of the Crows, is it? It's going to number 26.
No, he pointed the wrong way with the arm.
Schonberg. So there's 2:07 on the clock. They need 4 points to equal their lowest score, 5 to beat it. And Schonberg, that's Harold. If he can kick the goal, they'll get there. He chips it to the square. Can they take a mark? Ridley gets a push in the back.
Arm chop.
Either way, free kick Bombers, and still that lowest score hangs over the head of the Crows out on the ground.
So, True-Man, is that their lowest score in the history of the Crows?
Spot on.
When was it?
That was round 18, 2011 against St Kilda at this very venue. So the lowest score at Marvel is that scoreline, 3-6-24. So two records could be broken very
lowest
shortly.
Ever score at Marvel.
Correct.
So they've got to kick a goal in the last minute and 25.
Yep.
They're at half forward now, and the mark's been paid.
Oh, that was off the third set of hands.
That was extraordinary, that mark's been paid. Nick Murray's got it. As Chief said, 3 other players touched it. Now the mark could have been taken down there. Phil Thorpe, little Jimmy Rowe. Can they not get the record that, well, the kick's been smothered off the boot of Hamill. It's going to be wrapped up 35 metres out. Ray Chamberlain comes in, minute and 2 seconds remaining. All of a sudden, Howie, record-breaking moment coming up here at Marvel Stadium.
Are you barracking for the record or against the record, Howard?
For Crows fans, I'd like to see them not fall that way, but personally, yeah, I'd be pretty happy to see it. So the ball spills out the side, bit of entertainment. High contact, the way it's going, the Bombers. 50 seconds on the clock, 48 seconds on the clock as the Bombers are in possession.
Chasing the lowest score ever here at Marvel Stadium, mate.
And their lowest ever score in the history of the club.
It's just extraordinary, 35 seconds.
I think they're cooked.
Yeah. I think they've got it.
Mason Redmond just hold on to the footy.
1 or 2 more marks and it's all over.
It's all over now.
Unless Jakey Stringer does do something completely off his head. There it is.
Come on, Phil.
The lowest score in Adelaide Crows history coming up, Howie.
Yep. Howie loves it. That's what he wanted.
Not real.
That's ordinary, Howie.
That's not what
just barracking for the demise of Adelaide Crows, Howie. Oh, Jakey's going to play on. Been chopped off.
Go, Adelaide.
The Crows in the middle of the ground. There's 20 seconds on the clock. They drive the ball forward. They need to pick it up. They've got nothing but Essendon. Come on, Riley. Comes in. He's still a chance, Riley.
Here we go.
Ticks. Snap out of the pack to unbreak the record. Hits the post, Jimmy Rowe. Siren. Lowest score in the history history of the Crows.
And you're happy.
Lowest score at Marvel. And Rowe could have nailed it on the side.
And now he's celebrating.
The Bombers win at 84-21.
Come on, Howie.
Yeah, the Bombers by 63 points. And to add all that, I think I had a little voice breaker as the ball hit the post as well. Well done, the Bombers. They get it done by 63 points. Yes, Essendon by 15 at quarter time, 35 at the half, 47 at three-quarter time. In the end, Essendon 11-18, 84. Adelaide 2-9, 21, 63 points. And that finish just showed you, Chief, you can always find something in a game of football to get excited about. Yes, you can. Here's Matty Richardson with Archie Perkins.
Try to achieve this year. We've thrown patches throughout games, but consistent four-quarter performance where we're displaying all our game style and what we want to do with the footy is something I think we got pretty close to tonight.
Now, you're only 2 points out of the 8 now, so you're in touch with it. Is it something that you guys are thinking about, or is it just a week-to-week focus?
No, it's more a week-to-week focus. We know that if we turn up and play our way, that it's going to go a long way to winning the game. So we feel that if we're able to do that, then the finals will take care of itself.
You really look like you're enjoying it out there, Archie. 3 goals tonight. I think it's your best game of AFL footy so far. A Rising Star nomination may be coming your way this week.
Maybe. I'm not too fussed about that and focused on it at all. I'm just trying to do my bit for the team, play my role, and it's a really enjoyable place to be at the moment, the Bombers. So looking forward to the games to come.
It must be enjoyable coming through with some other young players your age that you can learn and grow with Harry and Nick also coming through this year. You're enjoying playing together?
Yeah, being in the AFL is a new experience, so it's good to have people in a similar position to me like Nick and Harry who are all experiencing the new things together. So, it's really enjoyable. It's good to have them with me.
Do you think you'll roll up through the midfield in the future as you move through your career?
Yeah, I feel like my best position's in the midfield with the ability to go forward. So, hopefully get some time in there. But got some pretty good players in there, Darcy and Zach at the moment. So, but it's something I will be looking to do in the future.
Congratulations, mate, on your form. And don't cut that hair. It's your trademark now.
Don't worry, I won't.
Good stuff, mate.
Great interview by Matty Richardson and Archie Perkins. What a fine young man he sounds like. The Mac family has arrived at Macca's. Get a free limited edition glass with every medium or large family meal. Get it as part of your Friday night footy feed at Macca's. He sounds like a little...
He's got a nice bit of swagger, young Archie Perkins.
He?
Yeah, he's got a good bit of confidence. I think he might have just suggested in the draft that he wouldn't go to a certain club.
No, he did. Yeah, he said, don't draft me. I don't want to leave Melbourne.
Yeah, paid off for him. And let's hear from Jake Stringer.
A bit nervous, the girls, before running out, so it's good to get that out of the way.
Great to have the kids here with you tonight as well.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was very special, and it's good to have the banner back too. So
yeah,
that was nice. They were excited all week, so it was good for them.
Jake, you're in terrific form. Is this the most consistent footy you've played over the last couple of months, do you think?
Yeah, probably. Found a really good balance with mid and forward, and credit to Truck and all the boys for giving a bit of faith in me going in there, and hopefully I'm repaying that to the supporters and members and the players.
How much are you going into the midfield? Is it a 50-50 mix for you at the moment?
At the minute, it's probably a bit more than 50-50. Yeah. Probably spending 60-40, maybe 70-30. Yeah. So the legs are slowly getting used to it, which is nice. So. But it's a good challenge and I'm enjoying it.
You're certainly looking fit. What about your back line tonight? I think you've held the Crows to their lowest ever score and they just intercepted at will down there.
Yeah, mate, half of them played forward all last year with me, so we were like 12 games in and they've gelled really well. Jaden Laverty, he's taken his game to another level. James Stewart, Ridley, Hindy, all the boys, mate, they're doing a terrific job down there, and it's good to see him get a bit of reward tonight.
No, they're outstanding. Go and have a hot shower, mate. It's nice and fresh, isn't it?
Freezing down here.
Good, well done, Jake. Jake Stringer
he is a star, that man, as is Jake Stringer. Just 5 degrees outside at the moment. Hey, we'll take a break, then we're going to come back. We will do the votes, and then potentially, Chief, depending on what's happening around relays. Yes. 13353. So don't call yet, but maybe after the break, that is a possibility. The Bombers get it done by 63 points. The Crows with their lowest ever score in the history of the club, the lowest ever score at Marvel. McDonald's Marine Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Triple M is your home of rock, sport and comedy. And tomorrow, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Winter can be a tough time.
It frees the nipples off a tractor.
The Triple M Saturday Rub proves tough times have their own rewards.
I've been to 4 different high schools. I thought I'm not going through that again. I'll just win a couple of flags.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from noon for the Hawks and Dockers. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot footy you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on. Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream. Install a Ream.
Ask your plumber for Ream, Australia's #1.
1 in 2 tradies have fallen off a chair while using it as a ladder. Chairs are not ladders. Bailey's new range of platform ladders are ladders. Improve safety at height and efficiency on the worksite. Bailey, Australia's #1 ladder brand. We found the statistic at the start of this ad on the internet. Can't remember what website though, but if it's on the net, it must be true. Come to think of it, we probably should have grabbed a stat with more credibility. Anyway, the moral of the story is don't use chairs as ladders. But if you want a real stat, Bailey is Australia's #1 ladder brand. And that's a fact.
Congratulations, homeowner.
Yeah, pretty excited. Only 2 bedrooms, so it's a bit tight for the 5 of us.
That's okay.
And we're really close to transport. Paid more than we wanted, but got to get in the market somehow. And it should only take me an hour and a half to get to work, depending on traffic.
City living has its challenges. Regional Australia offers a genuine sense of space, not to mention bang for your buck when it comes to real estate.
To find out where your new home could be, visit movetomore.com.au.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles have European-made timber look laminate flooring for under $19 per square metre. Yes, National Tiles exclusive European oak look flooring for under $19 per metre. That's less than $190 for an average 10 square metre bedroom floor. National Tiles. Now you can get a quality finish for less. Rush in now and save.
Your liver. It helps live a life to the full. Live a bit longer for your family. Even if you think you could live a healthier life, you may already be at risk. It's a sad fact 1 in 4 Victorians live with liver disease, and it's the fastest growing cause of cancer death. So speak to your doctor about a liver check and ask about treatments and lifestyle choices that can help you live a little longer. For more advice, visit liverwell.org.au.
Hey Tim, how's the new landscaping business going?
Oh mate, things have really picked up since I became a member with Landscaping Victoria Master Landscapers.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's one of the first things people ask. There are plenty of cowboys in the market, so being an accredited member sets me apart. Plus I get training, advice and support, and just quietly, I don't mind being referred to as a master either.
To find out how membership can grow your skills, network and business, go to masterlandscaper.com.au. Landscaping Victoria Master Landscapers, the best from the ground up.
Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M Footy Review. Amy.
Who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy.
Bombers by 15 at quarter time, 35 at the half, 47 at the final break. 63-point winners. Essendon 11, 18, 84. The Crows 2, 9, 21. The Crows lowest ever score in their team's history, in the lowest score ever at Marvel Stadium. A 63-point win for Essendon. Hey boys, nice treat here because the first time in a couple of years, due to COVID restrictions easing, we're allowed to get an interview in the room.
Oh, that's
and it's the big man, Peter Wright, who struck the ball sweetly tonight, kicked a couple, could add a couple more. He joins us on the line down the rooms. Mark Howard here. Pete, how are you going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Hey, great to speak to you. We're just watching you line up from sort of 55 late in the game. Unfortunately, you weren't able to kick it. But as Chief mentioned, she went through a post high. Beautifully sweet timer of the ball, mate. You look like you're pretty comfortable in front of the big sticks. Well done tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's always nice to get on the end of a few, and I thought we put in a good four-quarter performance tonight, so real happy.
Pete, as you try to cement a position in this side, I guess it's difficult when you're slinging between ruck and forward. What's the preferred split for you? What, in an ideal scenario, how would you like to play it?
I really enjoy both. I think it's important to be able to play two positions, and Sammy Draper's going really well in the ruck at the moment, and I'm enjoying being able to pinch hit for him. So I think that 80-20 split's probably pretty good. Gives the target down the line, and then can still have an impact when I do go into the ruck. So I'm enjoying doing that at the moment, and hopefully we can continue to build our relationship together, me and Drapes.
Got a lot of young good players with some raps on them. Who's the best of them?
It's hard to go past Coxie, but there is a good mix at the moment. So I think obviously Perko played really well tonight, but I think Coxie just been so consistent for us, and he's already so professional, and his body's holding up really well, and looking forward to what he can do at the end of this year and moving forward.
Hey, Pete, talk us through the frustration last year. You're at the Gold Coast Suns. I think you were named an emergency 11 times and weren't able to get through for a game. What was the feedback? What were they suggesting you needed to do to improve your game?
It was obviously a frustrating 12 months for me up there. It was just a little bit around the consistency, make sure I'm hitting my contests, and I felt like I was putting in a lot of good work, but the boys up forward last year were doing the job for us, so I couldn't quite crack in, and obviously had a few carryover emergencies with the COVID year where I was gone probably week on, week off, and hard to really build your form up like that. But look, really grateful for Essendon to give me the opportunity to come down here, and really enjoyed my footy more than I have in quite a few years. So loving that, and really just looking forward.
Pete, just prior to half-time, you had a hell lot of strapping around your head. Did you get a chance to look up at the scoreboard at any point to see what that looked like?
Yeah, I had a quick glimpse. It definitely wasn't pretty. Probably a good thing I'm on radio at the moment. So, I think they tied me up in the rooms at half-time, a few stitches. But, it wasn't. It was really running repairs, and I didn't love it, but did the job for the time.
Well, Pete, the boys did mention in the call, Chief compared you, he said you looked a bit like the Easter Bunny, and Dars thought it was affecting your confidence out on the field, but when it came off, you just let loose.
I don't think it was affecting your confidence too much, but I imagine it wasn't a very good look, so you probably run away from the ball when you're looking like that.
Great win by you and your footy team, Pete. We appreciate your time. We hope to speak to you again soon, mate. Well done to you and the Bombers. Thanks for having a chat with us on Friday Night Footy.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Nice to be able to get back in the rooms. And
seems like a nice young man, Big Peter, right, isn't he?
Yeah. Cracking fella. Amy, who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Now, we get to the point of the night where we've got the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built for long days on site. Leaderboard after round 16, Ollie Wines, 24, the Bont and Sammy Walsh on 19, Oliver Steele, McRae and Parrish all amongst there. And that interview was brought to you by Choice Hotels around the grounds. Is it you tonight, Nathan?
Yeah, I got the votes tonight, Howard.
Okay.
I gave one vote to Nick Hind. I thought his run-off half-back was outstanding. 89% by foot. He had 22 kicks, I believe, Ash, and 23
at 96.
And one handball. That is Kevin Bartlett type stuff. 23 and one, Chief, and he used it every time. 2 votes to Archie Perkins. Could have been a 3-vote game if he had been able to kick his goals. He had 18 disposals, kicked 3 goals, 3, and lively in the forward half of the ground, Archie Perkins. But he's just a ball magnet. Zach Merritt started the game on fire, got the first one out of the middle, and he had 35 disposals for the night. 17 handball receives. He just kept running, so 3 votes to Zach Merritt.
Well done to you, Nath. Chew Man, a few stats for us?
Yeah, and Zach Merritt, so coming into tonight's game, he'd polled 6 Brownlow votes from his last 2 against the Crows, so he was the number 1 ranked player. Redmond, 25 touches, 11 marks. That's a PB for him, and 5 of those were intercept. And Jake Stringer, past month, averaging 26 touches and 6 clearances. Tonight, 23, 8 clearances, 5 out of the middle and 1 major. And as you said, Howie, the Crows, their lowest score ever. And, of course, this is the lowest score ever at Marvel Stadium from 971 games played here to 921.
971 games. Two-man, what's on tomorrow for you, big boy?
Hawthorn Freo tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I'm looking forward to watching Ash Barty, the final in Wimbledon.
Are you confident about Ash?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I think
incredible story that is, Jim.
she'll win their second Grand Slam.
Looking forward to it.
Who won the last Wimbledon female singles title? Two man, please, for Red Z.
Yvonne Goolagong, 1980.
1980.
Yep.
In the replica dress that Ashes wear,
great,
which is fantastic.
Has she been on your podcast yet?
No, but hopefully I can get on at some stage. That'll be fantastic. What do you got on tomorrow?
What am I doing tomorrow?
Yeah, what are you doing on your Saturday night?
I am taking the kids to Werribee Gorge tomorrow.
Dropping them off, eh?
It's almost...
It's had enough.
Towards Bacchus Marsh, and then we'll go through Bacchus Marsh and pick up some fruit from the local fruiters. Always good to support locally grown produce, Howard.
Very good.
Have you made contact with Ash Barty?
Not recently. No.
But the question was, have you made contact with Ash Barty?
In what respect?
To get her on the...
I asked about 9 or 10 months ago, but it wasn't possible due to the COVID situation.
Tell the truth. She wiped you like a dirty blurter, didn't
Well, no, her manager did. Her manager
Really?
did, to be fair. Well, she didn't have the time at the time, but
Well, it's just a Zoom call.
you
so-
know what she's got busy things. We've got plenty of guests coming up.
Why?
Who's her manager?
We're,
Big skid mark, just wiped
on the
away.
show. Nikki's her manager. Does a fantastic job. I think she marries Brian Taylor as well.
She
Manages
does.
Brian Taylor. But
Right.
it'll happen. We've got some nice guests coming up as well.
Yes.
So don't you worry about it. Plenty coming up on the show. Chief, what are you doing tomorrow, you big fat bugger?
I got to rest my leg, mate. And then I get up just after lunch and I'll head to where am I going to go tomorrow? MCG. I've got the Carlton Geelong game.
Okay.
Who are you doing that with?
I have no idea.
Right.
Doesn't look at the roster,
Just
Chief.
doing it with Fox.
And
Have you been in a wheelchair, Chief, at some stage?
No, I'm just getting around, but it'll be okay.
I've got an omen bit for you tomorrow, Chief.
Oh, what's that?
Race 7 at Caulfield, Chief El Tony. Going to be very, very hard.
Consistent
to beat
horse.
tomorrow.
hasn't been scratched.
Hasn't been scratched.
Right. What about you, Das? What do you got on tomorrow?
I'm calling Brisbane and St Kilda, Channel 7, Saturday night footy.
Are you calling it or are you just turning up again?
I'll be there.
Who are you doing it with?
Be me and Jason Bennett. on
So
Saturday
you're just
night.
turning up.
I'll be...
You're like you know what you are?
I'll
You're like a stable pony. They bring out the cup horse. They
Teaser
put
pony.
they put the little stable pony with it.
Teaser pony.
Oh, don't you laugh,
Yeah.
Howie? You did about 10% last week.
You got to know where you sit in the environment, Chief. I've always found. Well, I think that's about it.
That's enough.
Really?
So?
Yeah. All right. So Essendon win it by 63 points, 11-18-8. Forward to the Crows, 2-9-21. The lowest score in the history of Marvel, the lowest score in the history of the Crows. The Bombers by 63 points. Have a safe night. Give your mum a call. Hug your loved ones. And McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rock Football.